running up them numbers, we running up on neighbors. We don't got no good karma left. We running out of favors, yeah. Dabs and hugs don't pay the rent. Never seen an angel sent to the side of town I live, so I read while they repent. My role models were finesses. Papa cut pills in the dresser, gave me 40 and I flipped them. I ain't even feel the pressure. Never learned to press a shirt, never learned to tie a tie. Cause I seen my parents' checks and I seen they tired eyes. If we could've paid for college, hell, I might have been a lawyer, but that probably wouldn't work. I'm too motherfucking loyal. I've got too many people counting on me, on me, on me, on me. So it's go time, crunch time, night time, sleep time, wait time, work time, no time, make time. Luck is just something that you make. If they don't want to give, you take. Go time, crunch time, night time, sleep time, wait time, work time, no time, make time. Luck is just something that you make. If they don't want to give, you take.
I am not proud of what I've been, but I'm proud of where I came from. Drowning in a drink, going brain dumb. Waking up with strangers, don't know where they came from. Turned my life around and I started building kingdoms. All I do is work, not funny how it works out. Ain't no time to take her on a date, don't have a girl now. I guess that's a trade-off, guess I had to fade off to finally find the time to figure out what I was made of. Ay, give me space, love, I got shit to prove. I don't do this for no pay stub. I know that you hate the way it separates us, but success is something I need me a taste of. So it's
go time, crunch time, night time, sleep time, wait time, work time, no time, make time. Luck is just something that you make. If they don't want to give, you take. Go time, crunch time, night time, sleep time, wait time, work time, no time, make time. Luck is just something that you make. If they don't want to give, you take. Go time, crunch time, night time, sleep time, wait time, work time, no time, make time. Luck is just something that you make. If they don't want to give, you take. You take. You take. Lately I've been stressed out, I'ma be alright though. Move a mile a minute, cause any day I might go. Can't take the cash when the coffin hit the ground, so I'm blowing all this money like I'm trying to cool it down. I ain't never had shit but a dream, and the mama telling me I can be anything that I wanna. I don't watch television, got enough bad news. If you back me in a corner, I do what I have to. If you see me doing well, it's because I went and got it. Making something out of nothing, turning problems into profit, man. Impossible is nothing if you treat it like it ain't. That's why I treat it like it ain't. I don't know, it's just the way I am. My eyes bleeding red until the AM. Hallelujah, I still moving when the day end. All my demons chasing me, I gotta slay them. I don't have the time to be patient. I got a lot up on my mind, trying to see the silver lining, but I don't have the time to be patient. I got a lot up on my mind, trying to see the silver lining, but I don't have the time to be patient. They tell me to relax every time I tell them no. They confused cause I'm heating up but still I'm hella cold. It ain't coincidental that my dentals never show. I ain't got a lot to smile about until I get the gold. See my standards so high but I'm sitting so low. Forget how they used to treat you, that's a big no-no. Watch the body count climb when we kill them with success. I need everything and nothing less. I don't know, it's just the way I am. My eyes bleeding red until the AM. Hallelujah, I still moving when the day end. All my demons chasing me, I gotta slay them. I don't have have the time to be patient. I got a lot up on my mind, trying to see the silver lining, but I don't have the time to be patient. I got a lot up on my mind, trying to see the silver lining, but I don't have the time to be patient. One last thing, I like singing sad songs. That's how I deal with depression, so don't clown me like that's wrong. I'm not less of a person, cause I talk about my feels. If I never ever did, how the fuck could I be real? It's that motivation music, yeah, I wrote it for myself. Cause when I start feeling low, no one can save me but myself. This for me, I know who I am inside. Still I'm working like I'm never satisfied. I don't know, it's just the way I am. My eyes bleeding red until the AM. Hallelujah, I still moving when the day ends. All my demons chasing me, I gotta slay them. I don't have the time to be patient. I got a lot up on my mind, trying to see the silver lining, but I don't have the time to be patient. I got a lot up on my mind, trying to see the silver lining, but I don't have the time to be patient.
Check, check. 1 2 1 2. Coming in hot. Hot. It's been a good weekend. I'm pretty sure we streamed last on Friday. Not Friday, Thursday. And like I told you guys, I wasn't really expecting much to happen. We talked about the pullback possibility, and we saw that. We targeted between the 0.5 and the 0.382, and we saw that. And then we saw the reversal. So, I mean, things are working out pretty much to the T. I couldn't ask for anything better. Let's go ahead and switch over to the live screen here. Hello, how you doing? It's a little Kitey man. And we are sitting in some pretty good gains. We picked up a long on Aave, and we picked up a long on Ethereum. We got a re-entry on Ethereum since we got stopped out on that perfect entry, or what should have been a perfect entry if the market was going to treat us the best it possibly could. Thank God we didn't get stopped out on BTC or Sushi, which, like, we got the pinnacle of the bottom with those. Sushi, we got the absolute and utter bottom. You love to see it. That's called trading porn, where I come from. And we got the absolute and utter bottom on BTC over here. Once again, trading porn. Aave, you know, we did a pretty good job. Now, I'm not going to lie. I mean, getting the entry on Aave was not fun. I mean, it was, you know, it's not at this point in time, like the way I see things. I don't stress over it. But we did get stopped out, or like I did. I don't know how many times other people got stopped out, but I got stopped out 8 times trying to get the Aave entry and lost like $500. But now, at the current moment in time, we are sitting at about $1,000 of profit. So we've made up the $500 that we lost trying to get the entry. Now we're up $500. So, you know, I am targeting around 500. All right, my theory on this is most of the assets that we're looking at right now are in 1-2 structures. All right, so we're looking for some higher end targets here. Now, if we can go talk about, you know, just the reasoning in terms of like support and resistance. Like I was saying, we do seem to have a 1-2 structure right here. Therefore, if we do continue to charge to the upside, I mean, that already puts our 1.618 target to about 550. But we do have to deal with these local highs, one at 527 and one at 509. So that's going to be an area of resistance. I have no doubt that we could probably see something like this. Maybe we continue in an uptrend. Once we do reach that $526 area, we have a pullback. Maybe we put in a slightly higher high, getting to that 1.618 target. Then we have a pullback into maybe a 4. That is kind of what I would be seeing, you know, hopefully seeing from that region. And then after bottoming out in the 4, going up to test the top of the 5, while also retesting pretty much the all-time high on most coins. Similar setup for BTC. Now, BTC has a much longer structure ahead of it. It actually has a 1-2 structure, and we're in the middle of the 3. But I mean, it's definitely got some. Where do my BTC go? What? Why does this keep happening to me? Do I click did I click the delete button? Gosh, every time. BTC USDT. Bybit. Boom. There we go. put that back up to the top. All right. So BTC, on the other hand, we had a 1-2 structure here. All right. Now that, to me, if we do continue to hold this, we talked about the macro, so I mean, we don't really need to go over that 1,000 times, but 29K. 29K is the most important level in all of Bitcoin right now. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. All right. Now, obviously, don't listen to me. I don't want to be your main source, but from the way I see things, 29K, could we see below it? I have no doubt that that's a possibility, but if we do go below it, you better bet that we are getting back above it insanely quick. All right. It's going to be nothing more than a liquidity grab, if anything. I don't think we're going to go down below there because I don't think even the whales want to test that. If we break 29K, it is an abyss below us. There is no support. There is no support until 16K and 9,000. All right, we're going below 29K is a death sentence, even for the whales. All right, I have no doubt there's somebody that can stop it, but it's a dangerous game, and I don't think they're willing to play it. All right, so we have that 1-2 structure. And now what we're trying to do is we're building a 1-2 structure to start the subwave set for wave 3. All right, now we did get a lower low than the 0.382 and a higher low than the 0. So we should be targeting somewhere around the 1.87 to 1.8. So we're looking to retest somewhere around the 53,000 to $54,000 region, but at the same time, the resistance that we're looking to retest is around 59,621. So, some theoretical answer to how this could work itself out. Maybe, just maybe, we end up getting a third wave up to around this area, having a pullback, maybe a short-term pullback, maybe not something severe, and then putting in a higher high, then having a more severe pullback, creating a 4 before we continue to charge up to the upside and hopefully break that 59K resistance. All right. That's kind of what I'm hoping to see in terms of structure on BTC. And obviously there's going to be many ups and downs trying to get up to that point. But from the way I'm seeing things, I'm not trying to play every single up and down. We'll take some scalp trades when we see them, but for the most part, I got my entries, and some of these coins I'm in, we're going to see so much profit off of them if it does come to fruition. Sushi, for example, 320 bucks is kind of like the upper echelon of targets. I'm not 100% convinced that 320 is a possibility. But what I'm doing here is I'm waiting to see where this altcoin is as BTC approaches its macro target, which is 100K to 200K. I mean, I'm not going to cap it and say that we're only going to get to 100K. We definitely could have a blow off top. Just going on a good estimate, if 100K is the target on stock to flow, give it some leeway for a blow off top, 140, 150K. If the market's severe with hype, yeah, we could definitely see 180K, 200K. I'm not denying it. But that still is a lot of money to come into the market, so we'll see how things work out. But if we're sitting at like 280 and BTC is at 100K, I'll hold on to it because right here, this is like a couple thousand risk to reward ratio because we're risking $35, but we'll walk away with 156K if we get to 320. So that's kind of one of my one-off plays that, it's just I would be really surprised / actually just, obviously I'll be excited. That's a lot of money to make just from a small risk, but it's just kind of like that nuance that something like that is possible. That's the main reason why I'm in that trade. Ethereum, I mean, everything is in the same exact structure, pretty much. It's either, now this is kind of a fluke or it is just separate. This is where I'm thinking, whereas with BTC, we don't have a lower low, my suspicion is that Ethereum is going to go sideways between 4,374 and 1,724 for a much longer period of time than BTC is. BTC, I think, is going to have a breakout past its all-time high. Ethereum's not going to get that for a while. Ethereum is going to move sideways while BTC does its rally in the market, because we saw Ethereum go on its rally while BTC took the back seat. I think this time around BTC is going to take the torch and run up, while Ethereum kind of just moves sideways, because we have a much more strong uptrend structure on BTC than this one. BTC, we have a 1-2 and a 1-2, whereas with Ethereum we only have a 1-2. Right? We marked out this bearish divergence the other day when we were on live stream on Thursday, and we talked about how if you are underneath of that local high, you could target the 0.5 to 0.382. Boom, we saw it. Did you get your entries? That's the question. All right. Then we saw the reversal. Now we should see some sort of push to the upside here, and then a pullback to create an A, and then B. A pullback to create a B, and then a final push C. Hopefully going up to retest 3,575, that first resistance, before having a pullback, creating a 4, and then seeing a retest of these two upper levels up here. That's what I would be expecting on Ethereum. But, I mean, once again, if you got your entries, don't stress. At the end of the day, what are you going to do? You're not going to control the market. Right? All you can do is predict these bottoms, predict these tops. And if you are, super hesitant about the way things are going, if you see a legitimate short position, and I'm talking a legitimate short position like this, all right, you can clearly see it on a high time frame. Uptrend, uptrend, bearish divergence on maybe the 5 minute to 1 minute. Now, it's going to be dependent on the size of the trend itself, but you can see a definitive short entry like that. That's where you can hedge these long positions. But until we see something like that pop in the market, we're not just going to shoot to the downside for no reason. All right. This market, the way it's going with the institutions that are involved in it, you're seeing a lot more, predictable price action. And that's the thing. Like anybody that was here during the 2019 retesting market, you could kind of say that was manipulation, the massive spikes to the upside and downside because of the low volume. But with the amount of money that's in the market, you're seeing these much more methodical, structured patterns. And if you just wait for them to show themselves, then you'll get a legitimate trade. If you don't wait for them to show themselves, you're going to get stopped out 1,000 different times, left, right, and up, down. Right? It's a simple process. Let it show you when the time is right to go long or short. The other night, we put in lower lows with higher lows on the RSI. Right here, for example, that's how we caught. Now, I didn't catch that bottom because I did get stopped out. But I did catch my entry right here on the retest of that right there. All right, but we did put in a lower low with a higher low, and you can see a definitive break of trend. Once you get back above that low, you take your entry. Simple as that. Now, sometimes it doesn't line up exactly like that, but you can always have these stronger local lows, which is what I did. I missed out on that entry, unfortunately, but then once we got back above that local low, I took my entry. Unfortunately, got stopped out, but then I got that entry down there on the smaller time frames, and then we got back above that local low, and that signaled a reversal to the market. At the moment, the reason why I am not exactly going short is because we do, take for example Aave, all right? Aave right now does have a bearish divergence, all right? You can see that right there. You can see where we got a slightly higher high, and we got a pretty sharp decline on that lower high here. So we do have a bearish divergence, but the only problem is that bearish divergence is fighting tremendous amounts of bullish force, right? The reason being is because we have tons of support below us. We have this local low, we have this local low, we have the fact that we broke these macro local lows to the upside and tested them for support. So we have tons of support below us, but we have no resistance until we get to these levels. So it's really a lot easier for price action to pump than to dump right here. And if you want to look at this from a pattern standpoint, not exactly from, just a price level and Elliott wave target standpoint, I mean, you can see right here, we have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. That creates an inverse head and shoulders. We have broken back above the left shoulder. That technically puts our target all the way back up to one of these two local highs. So even though that short position is valid from like a textbook standpoint, this is where like logical human, thought comes in. Even though that's a possibility, is the risk reward ratio and the possibility of profit there, right? Whereas with this, right, taking your short position, once we get back below this local high, right, look, we have uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. We put in a higher high with a lower high on the RSI, right? You can see right here, if we take the top and bottom of that, the only layer of support is at 321. So if we stay below this price point, price action has to go to 321, right? And then obviously, most of the time, it does want to go a little bit lower. Kind of think of it like stress testing the market, right? In reality, the market is testing the 320 level. But if the market can push lower and still get back above, it signals that it's even more bullish. Kind of just think of it like that, stress testing the market. So that's why typically most of the time we aim for the 0.5 to 0.382. So you could have targeted this area right here, 0.5 to 0.382, and you can see the risk reward ratio. Like let's say that we had, like a 1%, 1.5% stop loss, or even a 2%, right? You can see the risk reward ratio was 12.3. Now, take this trade, for example, right? We have had a breakout. We've had a breakout above the left shoulder. So kind of like this area right here, right? We've had a breakout above the left shoulder. So there is tremendous amounts of bullish force as long as we are above this region. So this is not technically a support besides this local low here now, but this is a level of buying power. All right, so if we take the same exact setup, we have this local low here, and then we go ahead and take a short entry. And let's say that we use, 1.5% stop loss. All right, we can target the 0.382 and the 0.5, but the odds of getting there is so low. So you would only really realistically have the availability to short down to like this level. That's a 3.29. I really don't think that's worth taking. So it's all about kind of measuring up what is the potential reward versus the risk. And that's what I try to focus on so hard. When people see me get stopped out 8 times in a row, they question themselves, how does he stay in the green? It's because I know what type of trade I'm getting myself into in the longer term. Like with Ave, the entry that I got. Let's see. I got a entry at 293.82 with a 1% stop loss, I believe. Was it 293? 293.82. All right, we'll just do about that. All right, so I have a 1% stop loss because I was playing the 1 minute time frame. And we're targeting the $500 level, 508 to 520. All right. If I take profit at 500, that is a 69 risk reward ratio. And I did not plan that. I didn't plan on 69. But here's the thing. All right. I'm risking I did the calculations. I basically said, all right, my accounts were 10 grand when I made this trade. And I'm using 0.5% risk. 0.5% risk. Nothing crazy. All right. So I get stopped out 8 times. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And keep in mind, this is over the course of hours. So imagine getting an entry, getting stopped out, and then having to wait an hour to get another entry, and then getting stopped out and then having to wait another hour to get another entry. It was a long process. It's not fun. It's not exciting. All right, and that's the problem. Everybody thinks that trading, you're going to get that first entry and then boom, make $1 million profit. That's not how it works. All right. So boom, I lose a little bit of money. I lost $400. All right, out of a 10 grand account. Then, right, if I win this trade, I just take 70 divided by by 2 pretty much, because I'm 70 times 0.5. That comes out to 35% profit to the portfolio. Boom. Now I went from 10,000 to 13,000 from one trade. That's how I do it. So you lose a little bit of money to make a whole lot of money, and you do that over and over again. That's how you grow these accounts. Simple as that. All right. And once again, now that gives me pretty much, like, if I continue to use 0.5% risk, that now gives me like 20 trades. I could get stopped out 20 times now and still be above 10K. All right. So every single time you take a trade and you really make sure that you're planning out properly, it gives you such a crazy buffer that this zero-sum game becomes a lot easier mentally as the account grows. All right. It's all about what's kind of got me through a lot of losses in the past and maintaining my mental state is understanding how far my account has come versus where it started. And even though the amount of money that I've lost is quite substantial right now, for the example, the amount of money that I've lost right now is quite substantial comparative to where my account was when I first started. I'm still doing fantastic. And you keep on trucking. All right. Don't let your emotions get you into some stupid mess where you start revenge betting and you're increasing your risk trying to make your money back faster. Don't do that. It's stupid. And you're going to know it's stupid because it feels good while you're doing it. And then as soon as your accounts run dry, you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, mad at yourself. So pretty much. Isn't 70% of 10K, 7K profit? You're not getting it. So right here, for example, all right, I'm using USDT. I'm not using inverse perpetual. I'm not risking my entire account on Aave. All right, so 70% of 10K, I'm not risking 10K. I'm risking 0.5% of 10K. I'm risking $50. So 50, which is the amount that I'm willing to lose, times my risk reward ratio. All a risk reward ratio is how much am I going to make times what I'm willing to lose. So if I'm going to make 69 times what I'm willing to lose, 50, that's how you get that $3,000 to $3,500 number. But since I lost $400 trying to get the entry, I don't get that extra amount of money. That's the loss trying to get the entry. But how can you not get stopped out more as well? Well, that's what I was explaining to somebody the other day. So like, take Ethereum, for example, all right? The way that I was explaining this to him, all right? Do you honestly think that getting stopped out less is going to equal more profit? That's the thing. That's the logical thing that people think is the truth. But this doesn't happen all the time, but look at this example. All right, let's say that I took this trade. All right, we have exaggerated bearish divergence on Ethereum, looking for a pullback to the 0.382. All right, so I line it up. I target between the 0.5 and the 0.382 for a take profit. And as long as we are below this line, I am going to short. Now, let's say that you have two different traders. Let's say that you have trader A that uses a 2.5% stop loss. And let's say that you have trader B, who is the same type of trader. He's entering the same exact trade, the same exact way, with the same exact target, but yet he uses a 5% stop loss. So if they're both targeting the same area and they both had the same entry, Now, traditionally on spot, they would make the same amount of money, as long as they were using the same amount of margin. But with leverage trading, your stop loss and your entry is the only thing that can determine whether or not you are going to make substantially more money. You're always going to lose the same amount of money per trade no matter what. But you always have the potential to make a lot more, which is what our risk to reward ratio is for. So let's say that in this case scenario, right, you can see right here, right, the dude that is using 2%, 2.5% for his stop. Where's my drawing tool? Am I stupid? There it is. All right. He would have entered here, got stopped out here, and he would have entered here when we got back below there, and he would have gotten stopped out again. So he would have gotten stopped out twice. Now, for this case scenario, I want to pretend that the person that's using the 5% stop loss got a tad bit late of an entry, because you can see it is so damn close, it's not even funny. Let's say that he got stopped out as well 2 times. So one guy is using half of the amount of stop loss, but yet is only getting stopped out the same number of times. So the dude that is using the 2.5% stop loss is going to make 7 times what he's willing to lose. And the dude who is using a 5% stop loss is willing to get stopped out, is only going to make 3.5. So he is making twice the amount of money for the same number of times getting stopped out. All right, so let's say they were both using 5% risk. All right, I'm not saying 5% risk is what you want to use, definitely not. But let's say you had a $10,000 account, and let's say that we have dude A who loses 5% on stop 1 and 5% on stop 2. He now has $9,000. But then he wins the third trade, walking away with 35% added to his portfolio. Now he is up to 12,183. All right, so let's take dude 2. All right, he has a 10K account. He loses trade 1. He loses trade 2. And then he adds, that would be 17.5% to the account. All right, he only made $600 profit, whereas the dude on the left, who is doing the same exact type of trade, who got stopped out the same number of times, is now making over $1,400 more. All right, so it's that difference in mentality where you can use a higher stop loss in hopes that it is going to provide you more profit, but it's really not. At the end of the day, that's why throughout my entire trading career, you've seen me use, 2%, 3% at most. All right. With leverage trading, if the name of the game is to have the most pinpoint accurate entry, why are you using like these stop losses where it seems like you're afraid that your entry is not good enough? So even if, that's the thing, like look at this, even if dude B only got stopped out once versus 2 times, he's still not going to make as much money. All right, 10K minus 5% loss for 1 stopped out, and then he adds 17.5% to his portfolio. All right, he's still not going to make as much money as the dude on the left. All right, so that's where getting stopped out more times doesn't exactly mean that you're less profitable. It's that difference in using a mathematical brain versus, your emotional brain, because your emotions is what doesn't want to get stopped out. That's where I was talking to the people on the Discord last night. I'm being honest. Like, it doesn't feel good to get stopped out. Even like there's the trader version of me, which knows the mathematics and the end goal. But obviously, there's the little monkey boy me who's sitting inside my brain the entire time, screaming, bashing on the keyboard, saying, "What the hell are you doing, Mr. Robot? This hurts." But it's about overpowering that animalistic urge and then going with the analytical urge over and over and over again. That's all it is. But that was something that I really want to reiterate to people, because it can, for some people, that is the difference on making it. Like, that simple switch and understanding that win ratio does not mean that you are more profitable. Now, if you take high risk reward ratios and you have a higher win ratio, yeah, you're going to make way more money. But higher risk reward ratios, like with a 10 risk reward ratio trade on average, like if you're hitting 3 out of 10 trades on a 10 risk reward ratio, you are still making so much profit to your portfolio, it's not even funny. And I don't think people understand that. Why not enter higher? Why taking the trade so low? Well, because you can't guarantee that, right? How could you predict that that would have been the top? For me, it's a matter of probability. So if the opportunity is there, you can do it. Like if you see that we're in an active bearish divergence while we have a higher high, and then you go into like the 1 minute time frame and you do find a reversal divergence off of the 1 minute time frame, maybe like right here, you can get that entry, and that definitely would make you more money, because then you can get even less of a stop loss. But in terms of like if you were to play this macro wise, right, the only other place to enter short would have been right here, right? If you were playing the 1 minute time frame, watching for a bearish reversal divergence off of this uptrend while we were still in an active bearish divergence off of the 2 trends. So you could have gotten that as an entry. I'm not denying that, but I'm just saying if you're playing on the 5 minute, 15 minute time frame, you're not going down that low. You're focusing on the bigger divergence, and you cannot guarantee that price action will go down unless we are below this line. It's a matter of creating an if this and that statement where it's a true or false, not do I feel like price action is going to go down here. Right? That's where the separation is really a necessity. Are you rich? Okay. That's a really bold question. I sold at 55K on BTC, and I sold at 3,000 to 3,500 on Ethereum. I personally have put pretty much all my money that I had on the sidelines back into BTC at 29K. But Ethereum, I'm not sold on it yet. I've only put about 15% back into that at about 1950. Everything, like if this is truly the bottom here, because this is a 1-2 structure, right? And BTC, I mean, it's undeniable. Like we have an Adam and Eve, like we might even have an Adam and Eve double bottom, which are very strong right here. So once we get back above 42.5, you are going to see an explosive uptrend in the market. Because once we get past that, there is no, like on BTC, there is no major resistance at all until we get to 59K. That's the thing, right? There is no resistance until we get to 59K. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, Austin, there's resistance at 45.7. There's resistance at 51.4. Comparative to the structure that we're looking at and the force that will be behind it, these levels right here are so insignificant comparative to the larger trend. The larger trend is this. Everything in between does not matter, right? The only local highs that can be used as resistance on a macro level right now is 59,000 and 65,000. That's it. All right. Now, I have no doubt that we're going to see small time frame pullbacks when we hit 45.7 and 51.4, but it's not going to be anything major. It's not going to cause the market crash. It's not. Why do we have to sound like that though? Because it's always the people that that take the smallest little tiny things and think that it's going to cause the world to crash. Look at the bigger picture, and you'll start to feel a lot better. Instead of worrying about, like, if you're looking at the 15-minute time frame, so we're like, a lot of times you'll find me playing on the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 1-minute time frame, but it's always going to be in the perspective of macro structures. Everything else, I'm just targeting small time frame pullbacks and small time frame pumps during a downtrend. That's all. How do you distinguish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So the best way I can explain this, all right, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure is nothing more but a bunch of ABCs collective, all right? So on a much, much larger scale, 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 3 and 5 can look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structures, but a lot of the time they are actually ABCs, all right? The entire thing's an ABC. So you'll have ABC up, ABC down, ABC up, ABC down, and then you'll have ABC up. So the entire thing is all ABCs, but it's coming all together to form a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's where you make the difference. I'm not saying that to just throw all your money into the market. What I'm saying is, from a macro structure, all right, here's the thing that you have to ask yourself. What is the probability of this being a bottom? All right, from a daily structure and a 12-hour structure. All right, we have uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, and then boom, goes the dynamite. So there is only 3 supports. There's only 3 supports in BTC. Now, obviously, this is like a micro support that possibly could find support, but from that perspective, knowing that there is only 3 supports on a macro structure that have the possibility of causing a macro turnaround in price action, do you really think that the people who are the main holders of BTC will be selling their BTC as long as we are above 29K? You saw how violent the buyback was when we hit that price point. That should speak for itself. It was a violent buyback. The second that we touched 29.2, I was in hundreds of % profit. The second, like pretty much 5 minutes afterwards, I was up 300%. All the exchanges shut down because I don't know if they lost liquidity or not. The whales were probably buying pretty much all of the BTC at that level. All right. I don't think any logical person that owns a lot of BTC, all I'm saying is like the market, I don't think personally would ever want to break this level. I think 29, or more importantly, the averages also are really what matter here. 31.17K is the macro level average. So, we're sitting above that right now pretty comfortably. We're above the average support. So I personally think that we're going to bottom out here. That's my personal belief. as well as that, um, this area right here, 35 to 31, the reason why we're having such a crazy pullback and creating this level, what this is doing is breaking this entire uptrend and creating a local low that can be used as support to retest during the bear market. All right, so now we're going to see an uptrend here, and we might see that uptrend break, and then we'll see an uptrend here, and then we'll see that uptrend have a small little break, and then we'll see an uptrend here. All right, and that's going to create local lows just like this, that when the top of the market comes, you know, that's what we're going to be using to see as possible buy-ins before the next retesting market. We are creating the supports for the future. And with the fact that if we go below 29K, like that's the thing, like when we broke 43K, because that was one of the macro support levels, when we broke 43K, while we were when we were sitting right here, like we were kind of moving pretty slow. And I was just saying to myself, I was like, we should be parabolically shooting to the downside the second that we broke that support. If you think that that parabolic downside was scary when we broke 43K, if we break 29K, it's going to be so violent. I just don't see it happening. I'm not saying that it can't. I'm just saying the highest probability is that this is a reversal, in my opinion. My ninja, yo step bro. We got possible 333 correction starting from March 15th. Also, here's the thing. Wells can buy all the BTC all the way down to 8K with all the profits they make from shorting if. Yes, they can. But another thing is, if we go below 20K, that is going to be so bearish, it's not even funny. Because from a weekly perspective, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure on the weekly. If we go below 20K, I'm not targeting 8K. Much, much lower. So most of the time, reversal divergences are the best way to get entries. So what you're looking for is, like, for a short trade, for example, you're looking for an uptrend to break, and then you're looking for it to create a downtrend that breaks into a separate uptrend. So it creates 3 separate trends, and the top of this uptrend, you're going to watch and see if the RSI has a lower high while creating a higher high on price action. And once you get below that price level again, the probability of continuing to the downside now becomes much more likely than the upside. So therefore, you set up an entry, you set up a stop loss, and then if it's a clear, if there's no real resistance to the downside, you would want to target between the 0.5 and the 0.382, and then boom, you got that trade. And then you just take it and you reverse it. If you have a downtrend that breaks into an uptrend, that breaks into a downtrend, it's the same exact thing, just reverse it. So you're looking for a lower low, but a higher low on the RSI. And then you just take a long position. Once it gets back above the lowest point in that original downtrend, set up a stop loss. And then usually, I'm not going to say all the time because, in a retesting market, it's not usually the case. But in the bull market, you usually want to see if there's a 1-2 structure that you're taking that trade off of, and they can target the 1.618 if you want to and go for extreme profit, or you can simply target the last local high. You know, that's always a good option. No, I do not use the Kite indicator. I mean, come on, man. Come on. I made that video, what, like 2 years ago? You got to think my style might have changed just a tad bit. Might have learned a couple more skills. Yeah, this is my Kill Bill hoodie. I'm glad you associate it with Kill Bill. David, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Honestly, why do you think Bitcoin is so good? Well, I mean, it's not that I'm like a Bitcoin maximalist. I just personally believe that since it is the granddaddy of all coins, I mean, it's statistically, I think, going to lead the market 98% of the time. And like I use the analogy, like let's say you have 1,000 different companies that are similar to Amazon. You know, same structure, but yet they can somehow gain a share of the market. If Amazon starts to fail, who is the most successful of all the companies that are similar, then wouldn't that signal to all the other investors that maybe the companies that are similar are going to fail as well? So it starts dropping the market. And then once Amazon starts doing good, it pumps the market. It's essentially the same analogy, but just for cryptocurrency. So it's not that Bitcoin has the best technology, it's the fastest, blah, blah, blah. It's the fact that it was the first. And for me personally, the reason why I think it's so good is because I believe in cryptocurrency. I believe what it can do for the future. But at the end of the day, at the current moment in time, I have to cash out to US dollars. So I use cryptocurrency as a catalyst to trade to make US dollars. You know, I still have HODL bags, but that's for the future. So BTC, with the amount of money that is being traded in it, the supports and resistances involved in the process are much more likely to be consistent. Whereas with a shitcoin, like Pussy, for example, right? Which, I didn't see that it pumped that much. Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my, I love that. I love that. That's fantastic. The technical analysis has no rhyme or reason because the people that are involved in this coin don't give a fuck about technical analysis. All right. So that's why I think Bitcoin is so good, because from a trader's perspective, it makes my life easier because there's incredibly highly intelligent people that are in the Bitcoin market that are trading it systematically, which makes it easier for me to pick up those breadcrumbs. Whereas with stuff like this, it's a pure gamble, right? Even though the technology could be better, which it's not with this coin, it's not. So like, dude, this morning I bought, so like over the past 2 days, while we were sitting right here, I went from 66 million meow coin to 135 million, and then we just skyrocketed. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this morning, like my account was only worth like about 4 or 5 grand. Now it's worth like 9 grand almost. Yep, 9.2 grand. There we go. Boom. Oh, if we go to $1, I'll do a giveaway so large the IRS has to have 200 viewers just making sure that everything's legit. Like live in chat, the IRS will be typing. Well, here's the thing. You know, obviously at the end of the day, like every like Bitcoin maximalist wants like the US dollar to completely collapse and Bitcoin to become the new currency. If the US dollar collapses, then what's the next best option? Right? If people are proven undoubtedly that a inflationary based currency no longer will sustainably work for a long period of time, they're probably going to go and try out deflationary currencies. There's already countries around the world that have plans to use Bitcoin, solely Bitcoin. Now, does that pose other threats? Yes, there's going to be extreme there's going to be extreme classism, just like always, because now people can hoard, and there is no more money coming in the market. But I don't think people are. And once again, like it's you can go like, well, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. What if everybody in the world wants to use Bitcoin? Well, I mean, it's just going to statistically track how much it's worth. If a Bitcoin can break down into 8 decimal points, that theoretically gives us limitless potential for how much a Satoshi is worth in value. It's like maybe 10 Satoshis one day will buy a piece of bread. Because if there is no US dollar to stand next to, who knows where it can go? Like the US dollar doesn't need a currency to tell it how much it's worth. It's just society. I feel like we're in line standing to ride Space Mountain. Are you saying like we're gonna just dump downwards? I think the 4chan FUD's gotten to you. I think it's like, here's the thing, like nobody is bearish until we've dropped 70%. That's the thing. Like you notice that, right? You notice how nobody in their right mind was bearish until we dropped. But now that we've dropped, everybody's bearish to the point where they think we're going to go to 20K. Why is that? Why is nobody calling for 20K when we're sitting up here? But the second that we drop and we're sitting at the 29, they go, we're going to 20K. You see how your emotions, people's like the sentiment of the market can change so fast. And that's the thing. There's a time to be bearish, but there's also a time to pivot your direction. You heard me preaching, when Ethereum hit 3,000, that I felt like a top for the market was in. And I was confident with that. Obviously, was my confidence tested when we started to go towards the 4,000s on Ethereum? Of course. I don't like seeing, going tremendously past my target, but I felt like the top was in and I stood by that and I cashed out. But now, I'm playing the probabilities and I'm focusing on catching a bottom. But whereas most of the market misses the top and now they're trying to, in their heads, pretend like it's going to dump crazy amounts further down so that they can make their money back on a short. But then they're going to miss out on the longs. It's playing on your emotions. We're gonna take a look at sushi, of course. Sushi's in the same type of structure. I even have it charted out here. We got a 1-2 structure right here. 1, 2. And now we're working on wave 3, which should go back up to retest the 16.9 to $22 area. And then we should have some sort of pullback, probably come back down and getting a higher low than that, higher high right there. And then it's calling for about $48, $50. Yeah, like I said, it's undeniable. Like when you see this pattern, if you're shorting, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It just means that you need to be incredibly cautious. Incredibly cautious. When you see a massive dump that has a V-shaped recovery with a rounded bottom that creates a horizontal neckline, when that neckline is broken, you should not short until you start hitting some macro resistances like this. Not at all. So, like with BTC, for example, you go out to the. Now, I'm not saying like this pattern being on like the 15-minute, 30-minute is like as significant as the daily, but like let's take the daily for example. Statistically, what has this pattern done for Bitcoin? All right, let's go back to the beginning of time. All right. When you have a massive dump with a V-shaped recovery and a rounded bottom that creates a neckline, once you break above that neckline, you should not short. When you have a massive dump with a V-shaped recovery and a rounded bottom that creates a neckline, once you get above that neckline, you should not short. Once you have a massive dump that has a V-shaped recovery with a rounded bottom that creates a neckline, once you're above that neckline, you should not short. I mean, come on. So, once you have a massive dump with a V-shaped recovery with a rounded bottom that creates a neckline, once we get above that neckline, you should not short. So, am I denying that there is a chance here that this could be, bearish divergence top and then we just dump to the downside? No. What I'm saying is we have one of the strongest macro supports at the moment, and we've tested it. So, for me, playing the probability to the downside at this point doesn't make sense in my head as a trader. We made tons of money shorting, buying back the bottom, and we saved tons of money selling the top. This being one of the strongest supports in the market, it does not make sense for me to bet on it breaking. Awesome, David. Awesome. Is Meow still pumping? Oh my fuck. Dude. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. That is insane. I don't know if it's gonna last. I don't know if we're gonna, see one of these dumps again. Because it seems like it just goes up and then straight back down. But definitely nice to look at the current moment. Definitely nice to look at. Crypto Illuminati is a little bit late. They were supposed to be here like about 3 days ago pumping the coin. Someone 4 days ago, when we were sitting at this bottom, bought 600K worth of it. So they have made quite a bit of change today. What book you recommend for learning supports and resistances? I don't really have a book on supports and resistances. I mean, you got A Visual Guide to Elliott Wave Trading, which is a really, really good starter book. I would recommend that. I don't. Here's the problem with EMAs. If you're using a EMA that is worth a damn, it takes so long to update that it is something that people point to after the bull market is done. The 15-minute, 30-minute, couple hours, those EMAs, we can get right back above those. During this bull market, we have been below the EMAs multiple times, and then people scream, and then we get right back above them. That's the thing. If there is ever going to be a bear trap, it's going to be when we break those EMAs. I'm sorry, I'm staring at this shitcoin chart. It's just I'm quite happy, to be honest, because we were playing this game last night. It's called Z.Run, and I spent $2,000 on a horse. Turns out the horse was not all that good. So then I listed it on the marketplace, made back my money. So I didn't lose anything really. And I took the money that I made selling the horse and I went and go put it into pussy. So I just made 100% on that horse sale today. I have one horse at the moment. His name is Pudge. Let's enter Pudge in a race just to show you guys this game. We'll do a class 5. Maybe I don't think we should sign him up for this one. Yeah, there's just way too many horses that have good track records on this one. Maybe once one of these start to fill up, I'll throw him in one of those. But yeah, this is a pretty cool NFT horse racing game. It's not crazy popular yet, which I'm surprised, but it's definitely something to look into if you guys are interested in the NFT market. Because most of us were here during like 2017 when CryptoKitties took off. It's essentially like the same concept as CryptoKitties, but there's actual utility to the horses that you're breeding. Where with CryptoKitties, it's just like, my kitty has polka dots, and it's a rare thing, so therefore it makes more money. No, you actually race your horse, so you can actually make money from the. It's called Z.Run. You can see right here. It's digital horse racing. So you can either buy a horse directly from the people who made the game when they do the drops, or you can buy it off the open marketplace, and then you go race them. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I sold Miami to Ibiza because, well, to be honest, she was quite a crappy horse, and I wanted to make sure that someone else bought her before I raced her anymore. I'm looking Ethereum forming a 5-3-5 pattern. What do you mean by 535? Yeah. I mean, hey, if I didn't sell Miami to Ibiza, I would have made an extra 2K today. Now, that's if I sell. Obviously, it probably would be smart to sell, but how long did it take me to become a profitable trader? About a year and a half. So here's kind of how everything led up. When I was about 14 years old, I sold candy in high school. I took most of the money that I made, I put it into BTC with the help of my stepfather, and then at some point, the market took off. So I was lucky enough to have a decently sized amount of portfolio before I even really got into trading, like technical analysis and leverage trading. When I got into technical analysis and leverage trading, I purchased Market Cipher. And during the time, the market was as easy as long green dots and you'll make money. So I did a couple of stupid trades and I made a unfathomable amount of money to myself at the time, which I was not deserving of because I absolutely knew nothing about trading. Then after a while, once the market cooled off, I started losing trade after trade. I lost a lot of money, but throughout the entire process, I never went below what I made that initial amount. So I was lucky enough to have things line up where it was basically luck for the most part. And then over time, I learned how to think more mathematically, getting a structured view of the market. And it took a while, but it's doable. And the thing was, during this process, I was 18 when I first, really started to get into trading. It wasn't until I was about 19 and a half, 20 years old until I really felt confident in what I was doing. So, I mean, that's the thing. I really wanted to. I've gotten a lot of flack for my age, and people obviously think, oh, you got this little kid here. He doesn't know anything. I would like to say that that's a good way to save your ego, because I've done a lot, I've learned a lot, and I have a lot to give. You listen, and if that's all. I'm only 21 now. Let's see. Opinion about the Chia network. Actually, I downloaded Chia and tried to set up a plot, but in order to make any decent amount of money, I would have to set up 2 terabytes to make at least $1.50 a day. Or I think it was. And the amount of time that it would take to write that plot, I just gave up. But it's a cool concept. It's definitely a cool concept to be able to mine with hard drives. Pretty early on, I was using GON fans. The problem with GON fans is they work. They work. But to get to turn it into a logical system that you can really count on, that's a different story. As well as that, if I was using GON fans all the time, the problem is going to arise every single live stream. Every single live stream, there is going to be somebody that goes, why is there a crazy amount of lines on your screen? What do they mean? How do they work? And the biggest question, why do they work? I don't know why these lines work. Don't ask me. So that's why I stopped using them. Yeah, I just watched other people. And then obviously just a lot of practice. And most importantly, really honestly sitting down and using your own freaking brain. Like, that's where most of my epiphanies have come from. Obviously, it's nothing new. A lot of the stuff that I came up with, like the risk reward calculator. But it's the simple fact that I can sit there long enough and I can think of a profitable way to structure my account. All right. I can do that. And now I have that concept and I go try it out. It's way better to do that than listen to somebody and then just, soak it all up and just say that it works. So that's why I always say, like, if you guys are listening to me and you guys do want to try to trade the exact same way that I trade, just use low risk. One, because it makes me feel better about what I do, because I don't want to be responsible for anybody's losses if you guys go crazy with it and let your emotions take over. Two, you should never take somebody's word on face value. Use my system with low risk. Once you start to see that it's working, that's where you can go, okay, he's telling the truth. And then you keep going. Unfortunately, my Discord is not free. I don't want to sound like a money hungry guru. It's just, I spend a lot of time doing this. It's $50 a month. But I do want to say, like I say it every time, it's nothing crazy. Like, if you sign up for the Discord, recently I've been sitting in there for like 12 hours a day, chatting with people, answering questions, just having a good time. And I do plan to continue on doing that because it's fun. It's actually really fun. And I'll give my thoughts on the macro market here and there. But if you're looking for a group where, like, I'm giving you 1,000 different calls on 1,000 different altcoins that work the first go around, that's not the group for you. That's all. And once again, like, I don't hide anything. I'll teach you exactly what I know if you ask it on live stream. It's not like I hide it behind a paywall. So, we're gonna race tonight. I might throw a couple races in. I didn't want to actually, like I said, I don't want to do one right now, but I don't know if there's one that's gonna be filled. I don't feel like waiting too long. See, this one's got 7 out of 12. See, look at some of these class 1 races. Like, let's say we click on let's say we click on this race right here. All right. This is a Z2 Nakamoto with a, about a 50-50 win ratio. Actually, that's crazy. Actually, it says 11%. Okay, so it's got a 40% win ratio because it comes in third a lot as well. Yeah, this horse has won $28,000 of prize money. Now, who knows how much this person's actually spent in terms of entries, but like, if you come in third, you still walk away with a little bit more than you had. So if you can get a horse that has, it will come in first 11% of the time, but 40% of the time or 30% of the time you'll come in at least third, that is probably a highly profitable horse right there. I personally, I can't bring myself to buy a Z1 horse. All right. I would love to, but paying 30 Ethereum for a Z1 horse that could just be trash. I don't, I can't bring myself to do that. Like, that's why I bought a Z2. A Z2 is only like one Ethereum. Whereas, like, you go up to the Z1s and then boom, they're worth 30. Yeah, because like a Z1 horse is let's see, the lowest price for a Z1 horse is a 9.9 Ethereum horse, and it has a 2.7% win chance out of 74 races. That's just not Just not a good horse. Can you please explain a little bit about R&R? I don't understand the stop loss issue. I don't know how I could rephrase it, because the way I explained it before, I thought that was a good explanation. Essentially, can I visualize this somehow? All right, let's say that my account has 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say that my account has 10 chances in order to be a complete loss. All right. So let's say that I have a 7 R&R trade with one setup, and I have a 3.5 R&R setup with the same trade, just a different stop loss to cause that fluctuation. All right, so let's say that I lose 2 times before I win the trade. All right, now my account has been set back to 8 tries, but then I win the 3rd trade, and let's say with this one I add 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 tries now in order to get my account to 0. So I just continue getting high risk reward ratio trades while, trying to not lose crazy amounts. Now, obviously, if you have only 10 tries until your account hits 0, your risk is too high. All right, with a 0.5 risk reward ratio, you have like 400 times before your account hits a crazy low number. All right, if you have only 10 tries until your account hits 0, that's your first mistake. All right, but then once again, you can see, like if we did that same thing and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, yeah, 10. All right, and I lost 2, and I only added back 3.5, you can see that I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, I count wrong. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so 11.5. Now I only have to lose 1.5 trades to be back to where I started before I even took the trade. It doesn't give you any buffer room. That's what I was saying before, where your stop loss versus your entry is going to determine your risk reward ratio. And the higher the risk reward ratio means you have to win less trades in order to be profitable and to give yourself a buffer period to make sure that you don't have to stress over being just net positive just a little bit every single trade. That's all. You can't, so that's the thing, you can't make your horse better. Like you can't buy this horse and train him to win more races. The horse is the horse from the very beginning. But what you can do, like let's say my horse has a 10% win ratio, right? I can, I can breed him with a horse that has, a 20%. And then hopefully with this character, breeding is how you get better and better horses. So like someone that has like a 40% win ratio horse will not sell their horse, because the horse itself, given enough time, will make its money back from races. So theoretically, it's an infinite money pot. And on top of that, they will have people approach, like you can approach somebody. Like let's say you go to the person that has the 40% win ratio horse and you go, I can't buy your horse, but can my horse breed with your horse and I'll pay you, $10,000 for the offspring. And they go, sure, because they're not losing anything out of pocket. It's just boom. They make money just for letting you use their spare time pretty much. I mean, it's a really cool concept. It's kind of pay to win. Don't get me wrong. But here's the thing. So like with Pudge, for example. All right, so Pudge, he's a Z19, meaning he's a 19th generation horse. And theoretically, the further from the first generation your horse is, the slower it is. So right now, a Z19 really doesn't have any chance in the world to win any high-level race. But in the future, when this game does get a little bit more popularity, and like most people have like Z200 horses, that Z19 horse by comparison is going to be miles ahead. So that's where, you know, if you get in early, you spend like $500 on a horse, you know, maybe, just maybe, your horse is going to be worth a little bit of money one day. It's, I'm not buying into it fully. I'm not spending, 20 G's on a horse, but, it's just the fact that I really like to take companies that have already been successful and then try to find a company that is doing pretty much the same exact thing, but actually has either a better UI or, in this case, utility. CryptoKitties was highly successful. That's a proven fact. You take it and you apply it to horses where people can actually win money from the NFT horses they have. I mean, that adds such more value to it. I think it's going to be a huge thing once it catches on. It might not be this bull run. Who knows? Just something cool, because I definitely had a lot of fun with it the other night. Just, because it's really cheap. Like, it's $2 a race for like the low level races. So, I mean, it's cool to pass the time with, most definitely. The only thing is you can't like do side bets. I wish that was a function, but that would probably be there would be room for manipulation on that. Maybe once the game's like definitely like off the ground and super popular, and there's like high level tournaments, there might be separate websites that take bets on like the live streams and stuff. I've been asked this a couple times before, if you can pay the membership fee by crypto. If so, I usually tell people no, because the only thing is like, if you have to do a monthly payment, either one, I just have to trust that you're going to send the monthly payment, or two, I'm going to have to stay on top of it, and just if you don't pay, I'll just have to get you out of the group. I do give people a grace period. It's not like, if you miss a payment, you're out of the group instantly. I give people enough time, maybe they got to make an extra trade or something. But if you can do 6 months or a year in crypto, I'll make an exception, because at least that way I don't have to, be on your ass the entire time. And I don't want that to be something that I'm known to do. Like I said, I give people grace periods when, they miss a payment. But because like I said, this is not a money generator for me. And that's the thing that sucks, is like when a whole bunch of people get introduced to my channel at one time, and I have a whole bunch of people that sign up for the Patreon, I never expect it. So when I'm making, like a couple months ago, I made like 10 G's in 1 month off of Patreon. It kind of sucks, but is also awesome. Like I said, I'm grateful that that's even a possibility, but that's not the main. That's not my main source of income. So it's kind of like, and then when people go, you're not putting enough trades out there. Like I'm not putting every single little detail of all these altcoins. It's like, this is not a signals group, man. Never has been. So I don't know why you signed up. It's but that's why, sometimes I do take these breaks, just to let the viewership calm down. So like a couple weeks ago, we were getting like 400 to 600 viewers. That's a little bit hectic. You got bots, you got people that are like brand new to crypto, that are spamming, they're just afraid. It's a lot more hectic in chat. At least this way we get some actual legitimate questions. What risk percent do you use, Kite? 20 bets? 40? I use, so on these scalp trades, for example, like on sushi, I used 0.5% risk, And on BTC and ETH, because I have a little bit more trust in those, I use 1%. Right now, like when this account first started, like this challenge account when it was worth $1,500, I was using 5% risk because the account is a low dollar amount. So I use the high risk in the beginning to get my dollar amount up quickly. And then as the account grows, I reduce my risk to make sure that the account is more secure. But now I'm making more dollars per trade comparative to the percentage I'm using. So that way, over time, the account becomes more and more secure while stacking up cash. Because like that's the thing, like let's say you have $30 million. All right? $30 million, you can use 0.2% of your portfolio as risk. And that is 60 grand. Right? 60 grand. Right? Now, if you hit a 7 restored ratio trade, you made $420,000 with 0.2% risk. So, when people talk about the more money you got, the more money you get, it's because the more money you have, the less risk you have to use to make money that's actually worth it. You know, if you have a $100 account and you use 0.2% risk, you're going to make a couple dollars. You can't pay your rent with that. You can't buy a new yacht with that. So, you know, there is some truth to like the more money you have, like the easier it is to make money. But is that the person who's rich? Like, is that their fault? Is that their fault that they don't have to use that much to make that much? That's the problem. Like, it's not evil. It's just, I don't know. So here, like, I don't know for sure, Ambuck, whether or not the horse runs at the same speed every time. So here's my theory. Each race is random. All right, it's completely random on which horse is going to win. But the characteristics of your horse, like the generation, the breed type, all that stuff, can add certain percentage points of probability to your favor. All right, so it can still be a complete toss-up and like a Z200 wins over a Z2, but the likelihood of that ever happening is so low that at the end of the day, you should really just focus on the horse, not exactly playing the statistics game. Let me grab a drink real quick. It's Coke. I usually, like, so lately I've been using decently high leverage. That's just because our entries have been a little bit better. I've been focusing more on the smaller time frames, just because I've got a lot more energy lately. On Aave, we're using max leverage. On Sushi, we're using max leverage. On Ethereum, we're only using 13x leverage, and on Isolated, on BTC, we're using only 10x leverage. Now, here's the thing though. Even though I'm using 25x leverage, I am using incredibly low margin to balance out the risk. That's where my whole risk reward calculator comes into play. I can use 100x leverage on BTC, but still have the same exact risk as the next guy. Your leverage is only a tool to balance out risk. It is not a gambling slider. So that's the problem when people ask me, what is the best leverage to use? There is none. It's all dependent on how you have the percentages of your risk reward set up. And as well as that, how good are your entries? That's why my entire thought process and trading strategy is based on points of invalidation. If this and that statements, making a clear distinction that if I am above or below this level, I am to enter or exit. That allows me to get pinpoint entries with minimal stop losses, increasing my risk to reward ratio as high as they can possibly go. And that's how I've kind of stayed in the game. Give me 1 second. I got to get a drink. Why do I use BTC Perpetual? Couple reasons. I kind of fell in love with USDT because as my trading skills have progressed, most of my profit comes from trading, not necessarily hodling. But at the same time, recently, with us being at the top of the market, I made the conscious decision to switch to USDT. One, for myself to save this portfolio some money, and two, as an example for you guys that, hey, maybe you should do that too. But obviously, I can never tell you directly to switch USDT. So if you are 100% confident in the market going up, you can use inverse perpetual because you're going to be gaining profit on not only your margin, but you're also going to be gaining profit on the actual leverage trade. So it kind of like, adds a little bit more profit to everything. But for me personally, this account is, I just don't want to stress about the drops. And if I'm successfully trading, I'm still going to make tons of money trading. A lot more than I would hold on spot. As well as that, it kind of adds validity to the whole YouTube thing that I do. So with a purely USDT account, I do have some. Like I have $600 worth of ETH and then $600 worth of EOS, but it's not anything compared to what I got in USDT. The amount of the portfolio is going to be dependent off of my performance as a trader. I could, lose half of my portfolio and then the market goes up 100% on inverse perpetual, and then boom, I'm back to where I started. I can hide behind that. With this, sometimes my account stagnates for a week or two, and then I hit a good lucky streak, and then we double the account, and then sometimes we'll have pullbacks. So all that can be seen live. Oh my gosh. We just we just broke 10.5k on Pussy Token. I should probably like here's the thing, making 100% just like that definitely feels good, and I should definitely take profits. But I just want to hold the shit coin because I feel like BTC's at the bottom. I definitely think this coin could do a little bit further than just 100%. Most of the time I market just because I don't mind paying that slight fee. Over a very long period of time, the fees can add up, but it's not crazy. Like, people over exaggerate when they go, oh, if you lose $5 on limit, you're actually going to lose $10 on market. No, let's say that I log in a trade where the risk is $50, but I market entry and market exit, and then I lose that trade. I lose like an extra $10, which obviously, like I said, can add up, but I'm not too worried about it. All right, KZ, come on, man. Everybody's a critic, right? Yes. Do I understand, as a person with a brain, that sugar is probably not the best thing for you? All right, it's not even a probably. It's not the best thing for you, right? But you're under the assumption that dying is a bad thing. All right, now, I don't want to die young, but I'm not afraid of dying, right? If drinking a little bit of extra sugar and, liking it and having a good time causes me to die at 75 versus 90, I really don't care at that point. All right, I've had a good life. All right, and as well as that, I just recently quit nicotine. I'm trying to make incremental steps for my health, you know, healthy decisions here and there. And of course, I've thought about quitting sugar or cutting back. You know, you ain't got to point it out, man. You ain't got to point it out. I'm 21. Let me drink my soda. Let me have a good time. Just let me live my life. Leave Brittany alone. Oh, we just broke 11K. Love to see it. I'm 21. Let me do my heroin. I have no doubt that like sugar is definitely the next objective on my bucket list of habitual things that I can either cut out completely. I don't think I'll ever quit sugar because I mean sugar is just awesome. You can't deny that sugar is not freaking awesome, right? It's awesome, all right? But I definitely know I need to cut back. There's no doubt about it. So I mean, yeah, like I said, it's one of those things that I know it's on the list. I know it's not good for me, but hey, one step at a time. I just cold turkey quit nicotine and just went through the most suicidal state I've been in like ever, pretty much since a mushroom trip. Let me drink my fucking Coke. Yes, I mean I ate 2 to 6. Dude, this is insane how much this is pumped in just like a couple minutes. Let me go check out the buys. Um 150,000 bought, but $151,000 sold right there. Kind of equals out. This person just sold off. This person bought in. Huh. Yeah, this is the buy. 4 days ago, they bought 634,000. Almost 10 billion. And then we have 100% pump today. They went from a $600,000 account to a $1.2 million account. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna hold it, but definitely they could take profit right now and dump this entire thing back to the ground. Let's see. Kite, do you like virtual reality? Yes, I do, but the problem is like it's not sustainable in terms of like it gets boring pretty fast. There's just not enough to keep me in the game. One, it's uncomfortable. You get super sweaty. Two, the resolution's pretty low still. Three, I don't think it's interactive enough in terms of like you need. I would think you need like haptic feedback gloves in order to make it real fun. And just the level of games that you have at your disposal is not up to par. I don't think there's fun games. Don't get me wrong, but like for me personally, like the only 2 games I really enjoyed was Gorn and Beat Saber, but that was about it. Well, I think sugar's good for you but it needs to be natural sugar. I don't think processed sugar is good for you at all. Okay, that's actually a super, super good question for me to explain on live stream. Um, so you said, what made you conclude that sushi might reach 320 and by roughly when we would do that? Um, so the reason why I am pretty bullish on sushi. So if you go to sushi.com, I'm not even joking. Sushi.com. The domain for this whole platform is immaculate. It's such an easy thing to type in. Boom. It brings you to Sushi Swap. All Sushi Swap is Uniswap with a better UI. That's all it is. And I think it's much easier to get around, and it has different, it looks, Sushi Swap looks so much better and does the same exact thing as Uniswap. All right. It is so much clean, so much more clean, so much clean. So given that fact, all right, Uniswap is already an incredibly successful platform. So you take Uniswap, and if you have a carbon copy of Uniswap that is just as good, but has a better UI and a better entry point, right? In order to get to Uniswap, you have to type uniswap.org, right? It's a disgusting domain name. Then you got sushi.com. I know that's not the biggest thing in the world, but for me, it's that small difference in accessibility that could mean the difference between this user and the next. So we go to CoinMarketCap and we look up Uniswap. Right? Uniswap. Let's go to some historical data back when it was around the end of April. Let's see. All right, around the end of April, we had a market cap of $22.4 billion on Uniswap. Right now, Uniswap has 1 billion coins. So that means it'd only be worth, 10, 20, 30, $40. Now, let's see. Let's go to Sushi. All right, Sushi has only a max supply of 250 million. All right, so it has 4 times less supply. And you can see that we're only sitting at a market cap of 1.5 billion. 20 times less than Uniswap. So, we go ahead and just break it down in a calculator. If SushiSwap can get up to the same market valuation that Uniswap was just a month ago, what price would it be? All right, let's do 22.4 billion. Right, divided by, right now the total supply is only 220 million, but let's just, for the sake of things, put 250 million. All right, just to make it fair. All right, that would already put the price at $89. So, we are pretty much at the start of the next major bull market. Right? If Uniswap can get up to $220 billion the first go around, just as the market's getting started. All right, who's to say that we can't get to like 100 billion? That's only about 5 times more. So if we can get up to, if SushiSwap can either one, catch up and exceed Uniswap because I think it's a better platform, or 2, at least maintain around 4 to about, 4 times less to about 2 times less. Let's say that if we can see $100 billion on Uniswap, let's say that we see, $33 billion on sushi swap. All right, that would bring us up to 132. All right, so I'm looking for around 160 as a realistic target, but I am also not I'm not convinced that we won't see sushi swap flip Uniswap. All right, just an inkling. So when I have $320 as my target, it's not that I'm like 100% confident that's the target. We have Elliott Wave lining up for it. That is a pure speculation target. All right, as of right now, we only have the Elliott Wave calling for about 50 bucks. All right, but it's also the, like I said at the beginning of the stream, it's the nuance that there is the possibility that with a little bit of speculation, a little bit of luck, and a whole lot of skill when it comes to getting the entry on technical analysis, there is the possibility that you can risk $35 and make 156K. I want to be the reason why nobody has a freaking excuse anymore to hide behind, because like I said, do I deny that there's a little bit of luck involved if this does come to fruition? No, I'm not denying that. But doesn't deny the fact that I'm not using my freaking brain to come to that conclusion and then having that small amount of luck carry the rest of the way. Now, when it comes to an entry on sushi, I can't recommend anything. You done missed it. All right. We talked last Thursday. All right. We talked about the pullback. All right. That would have been the time to pick up whatever coin you were looking to pick up. Every single coin had this same structure, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, creating a higher high with a lower high on the RSI. You would have just taken whatever coin you're trying to buy, take the top and bottom with fib retracements, target between the 0.5 and the 0.382, bought that level, and now you would have been sitting pretty in this uptrend. I would say once we get up to around like, let's see, let's go to sushi. Once we get up to $16.67, once we start hitting that resistance, all right, that's when you can start looking for maybe a larger pullback to buy the dip on. All right, so in this case scenario, if we do happen to see a top somewhere around 1698, something like that, and this is our bottom, whenever we get up to that region, we should technically see a pullback down to around 14.8 to 14.1, and you would buy that low. So it would look kind of like this. Then you would buy the low here, and then hopefully. But at the moment, you can FOMO into the uptrend, but for me personally, just I don't like doing that or even suggesting that anymore. I would always wait for the pullback, even if you're missing out on potential gains down here, because it's just not safe. That's all. Just not safe. I mean, as well as that, like, once again, I was just trying to give it the most extreme. I mean, if we do that same math, like $33 billion with the current circulating supply, which is only 220 million. All right, that's where you get closer to that 160 level. And once again, like I said, if we can see, $100 billion on something like Sushi Swap, that's when you can definitely get those higher numbers. We can see $100 billion would give us 450. So I only think we need like $70 billion in Sushi's market cap in order for us to get closer to that 320 mark. Yep, $70 billion will be at 315. So I mean, hell, I definitely think it's a possibility. Do I think it's like, that it's a most certain thing to say? No, I don't. But it's one of those one-off plays that even if it doesn't get to 320, it's still going to make tons of percentage gains. All right, 320, a little bit out there. But $100, $80, oh yeah, that's like almost a for sure thing at this point. obviously not financial advice, just a 21-year-old kid talking out his mouth on the internet. So once again, Uniswap already sitting at a 15 billion, 27 fully diluted, and historically has already had, like a 22 billion, 23 billion. So, I mean, I definitely think it's possible. Sounds like advertising? No, it's not advertising. Not in the slightest. Bitcoin has so much work to get back above 52K. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. It has two resistances until it gets back up to 55K. Actually, no, 59K. All right, we have this resistance zone right here. And then we have these two minor regions. Right, these with the amount of buying power from the breakout of this Adam and Eve that we're going to have. These two resistances are so tremendously unimportant, that it does not matter. Right, the two major resistance points are this little boxed region, and once we start approaching the 57 to 59. Besides that, there's no work to be done. Like, it is such an easy rocket ship back up to the upside. That's the thing. Like, the fast downside tricks people into thinking that the market is going to continue. But like I said, this break of the uptrend has created the local low that could be the possible bottom of the bear market in the future. No, I don't use Fumanchu. Is that the cloud indicator? We don't get back. So I'm not. Here's my thing. All right. What I'm saying is, I'm not like betting my entire life savings on this. I'm saying the probability of us staying above 29K is extremely high. And once we break this region, it is pretty much a rocket ship back up to the top. All right. I'll take you up on that bet. If we're not back up to that region or even close in a month, I'll bite my words and I'll say it. I'll say it on air. Well, here's the thing, Spin Kick. Oversimplifying my levels has made me a way more profitable trader than most people. All right, because for me, all right, do you call this oversimplifying my levels? All right, from my perspective, when we were dropping, if we broke 43K, we were going to see 29K. Do you think that's an oversimplification? Or were you gonna, because I feel like if, like, let's say in an alternate universe, we're back at 43K, and you're saying the same exact type of thing you were saying right now, where there's lots of work, right? Just because there's these little tiny micro levels before we hit 29K does not mean it's not easy, right? It's the same concept, but to the upside, right? Except 43K is not of any significance, except for the fact that it's close to these two resistances. So for me, it's the same exact concept, except flip it on its head. All right, we have downtrend, uptrend, which creates this local high. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and take it on and flip it on its head. All right. So like right here, we have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Right. That creates a local low. And now, if we break that local low, we will go to the next one, which is either here, here, or here. It's the same concept of the trade that we just did, except now it's to the upside. That's all. Look at the monthly levels created on the way up. Let's look at the monthly levels. I got you. The monthly levels on the way up. Let me see. Okay, you got 42K, which lines up with the resistance of what we're trying to break back above. So here's the thing, like are you going based off of candle to candle? Because for me, all that matters is trends. I think it's the perspective and how we view the market. Because I don't view the market from candle to candle. I view the market from trend to trend. And from a monthly perspective, this entire thing was an uptrend. Then we have a downtrend. And then you can see there is a clear monthly red candle, which created a local low, which we have retested. I'm not saying you're wrong. Like I said, I'm not trying to say that I'm, the superior here. I'm just saying, from my perspective, until we break 29K, we're not going to break 29K. I know that's kind of like a cop out, like, well, fucking course, if we don't break 29K, then we're not going to break 29K. But that's the way that I think. As a trader, it's not about, me trying to guess, right? It's a matter of probability. And with the daily chart having a clear, definitive break of an uptrend, creating a downtrend, and creating a local low, right? That is such a significant support for the market that until we surpass it, I have to understand that is a possible place of reversal. All right? Because for me, it's not about understanding where we will reverse, but where we can reverse. Or not when we'll reverse, but where. So like right here, 43K was a possible place of reversal. So that's why I did take some hedge longs. But was I confident on 43K holding? Absolutely not. So then we go down to the next one. Now it's the same thing. I take some longs because that is a possible place of reversal, and then we play it to ear. But at the current moment, we don't have any shorting setups to hedge short. Not a single one. We sold Miami to Ibiza. We didn't make any profit on them, but we definitely made our money back. And then we took the money that we sold, we made selling Miami to Ibiza, and I bought pussy with it. I bought 30 something million. I bought 35 million pussy this morning before we bumped. I bought right here, dude. So the $2,000 that I put into that just from Miami to Ibiza has now turned into 4K. There's a short on the 4 out at 39K. Well, yeah. So like that's like we took that short. Now I didn't hold that short, right? But we took that short, right? Because yes, that's a clear setup, right? We have high, low, high. We put in a higher high with a lower high on the RSI, right? That creates a point of invalidation. that was a shorting point. But I took that short. We targeted between the 0.5 and the 0.382 for a take profit. While looking for a reversal, we went down a little bit lower. We caught, I didn't personally enter on this one, but this was something that we were watching because I already have my entry from 29.2K. But that was your entry point right there. With the lower low, there was a higher low on the RSI for the smaller time frames. And now this is presumed to be a 1-2 structure. So that's how I see things. So until we see one of these uptrends, like the next major uptrend that starts here, right? Until we see another major structure like this. Now, if we see a higher high and we still get a lower high and we come back below, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that short position. I'll keep it until it gets stopped out. I accepted your friend request on Discord. Glass, I don't know if you're watching the live stream, but he's already getting hesitant. He's like, when are we selling our meow coin here? If you want to sell, man, be my guest. That's 108%. Yeah, take some profits if you need to. Like I said, I'm almost positive that we could see a very sharp pullback. But I'm looking for this to make some more gains before I finally cash out. I don't know if I'll hold it, until it's like half a cent. Maybe if I make like $100,000 to $200,000, I'll sell. I don't think I need to make if I hold until a cent, I'll make $10 million. No, actually I won't. I'll make like $1.3 million. If I held till 10 cents, which I don't think that's a possibility, I would make that much, but I think if I make a couple 100,000, I'll cash out. So I mean, that's from this current point right now, that would only have to be like 20 times. Because there's only 210 billion coins in circulation for this. If it can catch on at all, I do think there's a possibility. And please do not think that me looking at this chart and talking about it 20xing is a reason to get into this coin, right? If you buy in now and it dumps, you could easily lose like 50% of your money instantly, right? This is a shit coin. This is a meme coin. If you are thinking that this is going to make you a millionaire, with any certainty, you're wrong. Is it a possibility if you buy the bottom? Yes, because the market's dumb. But please do not put all of your money into this coin and then come crying back. I lost my life savings because I put my life savings in a pussy. All right, tell your wife that. All right, you're gonna get a double divorce because she's not gonna know what you're talking about. She's gonna think other things. Is there any relevance on the decrease in money on a daily market on a daily on market cipher? It depends on how severe it is, but as well as that, you have to suspect right? Money flow is not going to increase when the market is hesitant, right? If you look at the market as a whole, all right, who knows what the hell the behind the doors whales are doing? But if you look at most media sources, you got Facebook memes, you got TikTok, and you got YouTube. The majority of people are still bearish, calling for 22, 25K. The majority of people are. All right. Now, it might not be that everybody is majority bearish, but there is definitely not a huge camp of people trying to long right now. Right? It's either you're hesitant and you don't want to touch the market, or two, you're bearish. All right, everybody's talking about dead cat bounce this, dead cat bounce that. People that have never even lived through a dead cat bounce and traded it are screaming this pattern. Right? I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying when you see a bunch of TikTok kids that haven't traded any time ever, calling for all the same thing, you can assume that the whales might do the opposite. So. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to overanalyze the market spin kick? I got my entries. I told you the structures. Listen, what do you want me to do? You want me to go down to the 30-second time frame and scout? Come on, man. Once we're past a certain point in the live stream, it's no longer about the technical analysis. We're just sitting here talking. Iron Scooby, what's going on, man? Why would I long this? Because look at my percentage growth on these trades. That's why I'm longing it. All right. Even on the trades that I just entered the other day, all right, we're up 175% on Ethereum. All right, if that's not a good trade in the first place, boom. All right. Aave, we're up almost 600% on Aave. We took that trade the other night as well. All right, that's why I'm longing it. Like I said, another reason why I'm longing it is because we had an ABC, right? We predicted the top. We said it was going to come down to the 0.382. That happened. And we're starting to see a strong bounce from a 0.382. That is a 1-2 structure textbook style. And we're looking for the 1.618. All right. I've been using Elliott Wave for a significantly decent period of time, and I trust it enough where if I'm seeing things line up that good, I have to assume that we're going to try to get up to the 1.618, but more than likely, price action is going to get stopped out around here and then have a pullback. Why not posting your thoughts channel? Because these are not macro trades, right? This is not something that I can predict 200 times a second, right? I have been sitting in the lounge channels for like 12 hours a day for the past 3 days. All right. Anybody that was in those channels was there when we entered these trades. All right. When we're playing on the 1 minute time frame, I really don't have a lot of time. And that's the thing. If I do post the entry, by the time people can catch up and put it in, because I'm playing on the 1 minute time frame, we're so far away from where I entered, the trade is no longer safe with the same style setup. I mean, with this trade, for example, this was a much larger time frame trade. I was able to, put my thoughts into the channel that we would see a pullback, and then we even talked about where we would see a bottom. So, with the larger time frame, I can put thoughts in the channel, but that's why I'm focusing on showing you how I'm getting these entries, and sitting in the group chats with you guys and answering questions, so that way you guys can do this on your own. Like I said, this is not a signals group. When I can and when I think it's safe, I'll post those because I know people follow those to a T, but otherwise I can't. So I definitely feel a lot better. I feel 10 times better than I ever have. It's it's kind of like a combination. One, I'm no longer reliant on a stimulant to keep me energetic. Two, because of that, I've been getting better sleep. And three, it's kind of like that personal victory feeling that I've successfully quit nicotine, which also gives me that little bit of a happiness boost. Definitely. I was also in the Discord when we entered on 29K on BTC. It was all live. We even made a short on sushi, and someone in the group took the same short as me and turned $200 into 2,000. Which, if you're listening, all right, I'm glad you made that money, but that definitely was some bad risk management. That's the one thing that I know happens time and time again. Is I'll say something, people think that I'm Jesus walking around doing trading, and then put, pretty much 100% of their portfolio into the trade. I'm glad it worked out, and my advice to that guy was, all right, now that you have 10x to your account in one trade, you can divide your risk by 2, and you're still making more money than you would if you were using the same risk with the $200 account. So now reduce your risk and use the extra potential to have a safer account while still making more money than you would if you had $200, and start going forward. All right. If you guys are in the same case scenario, if you guys ever, for whatever reason, use bad risk management and it works out, please remember my words right now. Take the money that you just undeservedly made and make something real out of it. All right? That's the best thing you can do. If you do find yourself in a situation where you know for a fact that that was pure luck, turn it into not luck from this point on. Bring your risk incredibly low, because now your account's worth so much more. Use low risk, let it grow. You're going to be a much happier person than trying to, because that's the thing, like if you make a lucky trade like that, you're more likely to do it again. And that time you might not be that lucky. KZ, have a good night, man. I've been using Bybit for about 3.5 years. I've never had a problem with it. Actually, no. I've had one problem with it for about 30 minutes. But that's about it in my entire 3.5 years. I don't drink coffee, but I do drink Coke. I actually don't like coffee at all. Like I'll drink it like every once in a while, like one of those like mocha whatevers from Starbucks, but I don't like coffee. DOT has strong fundamentals. I am almost certain that if I look at DOT, it's probably in such a similar structure to everything else. Let's go to DOT. Right, it's in the same exact structure. All right, V-shaped recovery, building around at bottom, created a local high here. We have a 1-2 structure. We got boom, boom, boom. We had a pullback to the 0.382 to the 0.5, created a reversal, and now we are in a 1, 2, 3, and then a 5. Now, DOT seems to be in the same ballpark as Ethereum. I'm not saying that it can't just proceed, but it has a lower low here, which tells me that after we retest this, we're going to get a pretty dramatic rejection and probably be trapped underneath of this resistance for a good period of time before we take another step to the upside. Like I said, my thoughts is that Ethereum is going to take the back seat and move sideways. While BTC will go up to its all-time high, get a rejection, but it's not going to be trapped in that region longer than Ethereum. It's going to have its breakout before Ethereum. Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. You're right. I mean, at the end of the day, all an Adam and Eve is a 1-2 structure that's formed after a bottom. That's the thing. Like for me, I've transitioned away from patterns. I still use patterns to help explain, measured moves and targets, but I don't view the market in terms of patterns anymore. I just look at price levels, and obviously patterns will form off those price levels. I just don't personally like playing. If the pattern has a flat top, like a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, double bottom, double top, I don't like anything that involves a diagonal. Those are usually not successful. If you want to get started with Elliott Wave, a really good book for a beginner is A Visual Guide to Elliott Wave Theory. It's basically like a picture book for kids, but for Elliott Wave. And then if you want to get into the more advanced version, Harmonic Elliott Wave, A Case for Modification of R.N. Elliott's Impulse Wave Structure, is the most advanced book I've read so far. No. This would not be a good time to get in on dot. Right? You know when the time is to get in on a coin? Right? You don't get into a coin when it's going up. You get into a coin when it's going down. Right? Or when you get to the targeted region where it should bottom. Like this right here is my shit. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Right here, it's mine. This was the region to either DCA spot trade, or if you were trading this on leverage, right? This would have been your entry right here, because you can see it. If you go down to a 5-minute time frame, right? You can definitively see an entry. It's not like this is luck, getting these bottoms, right? Uptrend, downtrend. It creates 3 separate trends. Right here, you put in a lower low. And then right here, I am almost positive. Yep, higher low, boom. That would have been your entry. You hold on to it, all right? Like sushi, for example, right? Sushi was not that was not luck that I got that entry. That was not luck, right? I was playing the 1-minute time frame. I was looking for that reversal. Let's see. Where was it? All right, right here. Boom. You can see downtrend, a definitive uptrend, a definitive downtrend. That creates a lower low with a higher low on RSI. You get your entry, let it carry. Boom. All right, these things aren't luck. It is repeatable. It is systematic. All right, if you're missing your entries, that's on you. That's not on the market. It's not manipulation. That's on you. I don't really use trend lines anymore. Because at some point you can kind of just see. And trend lines are deceptive. Right? Because for me, it's more about, right? Because like this whole thing is an uptrend. Right? And for me, as long as we're below that level, the uptrend is broken. Right? So for me, I'm not looking at this diagonal line to tell me when the uptrend's broken. I'm looking at this horizontal line to tell me when the uptrend's broken. Which indicator in the middle am I using? Are you talking about this? This is the 125 length RSI. Unless you're talking about something else. You said middle. I'm assuming you're saying like panel. You're talking about this being the middle. Not middle, bottom. Are you talking about? You're talking about this? This is also the 125 RSI. I pretty much only use the RSI, to be honest. Unless you're talking about this. All right, that's the MACD. But the MACD is really just to show me where is market momentum heading. All right, I don't use the MACD for entries. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get, if you, like leverage trading, you need to have perfect entries in order to get the least amount of stop loss, in order to increase the most amount of profit, in order to be successful long term. MACD, you can enter and exit, you know, if you're spot trading. That's when it can, you know, it can be generally, and you would have to do it on a larger time frame too. But I would not use the MACD to leverage trade. There is a way to do it, which I've seen success in the past, but you know, those things can change from the time I've used it. I think Crypto is calling you right now. Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Did I say something that Crypto is known to say or something? Hopefully you're not comparing me to Crypto. No, I will. I mean, apparently Crypto is on my side now. I mean, a couple, you know, a week ago he was bearish, but he just put out a tweet. Goes bottomed out. Media bearish. Well, I've been saying that. He only tweeted that like yesterday night at 4 a.m. Today, does the Bitcoin price and the medium to short term King Ape. He's okay, I got you. You said, Kite, bro, hit me up and I'll do Crypto voice on stream right now. Oh, I am getting a call from Crypto. This is crazy. Crypto? Is this you? Hello? Crypto has his mic muted and I don't know what to do.
Kite, I think I have my mic working now. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Crypto.
Oh my goodness. We have Kite. Thank you so much for having me on the channel, bro. Thank you so much. Right now, I was trying to get some sleep. Okay, so we have a little problem, a little technical difficulties, but we've solved this now. Okay, so I was trying to get some sleep because, you know, wherever I am, it's always nighttime, and I get these urgent Bitcoin signals. They come to me. Okay, do they do that to you, Kite?
Yeah, in my dreams, it just.
Okay, yes. Did you get the feeling, bro, that we have bottomed out? We have bottomed out so hard right now. Okay, bro, and we have getting the signal on the Bitcoin price. It's a bearish signal, and I pull it up on my cell phone, and I will make it look so impressive to you and your viewers. But I cannot do that right now because I'm talking on my cell phone. But I have been looking at your charts, and they're very impressive. But the signals, man, they could take us to the bullish direction in a major way. Maybe 100% more or more. I'm not sure. But if we bottom out in the pattern known as a double busted bottom pattern, we could go to the downside in a major way.
Really?
I believe so. I believe this to be the truth, and my crystals are telling me so. I washed them the other day in the Bay of Dubai. It was very nice to get away from the charts for a moment and just feel the pulse of my crystals in my hands.
I respect it. Can you read your tweet here that you tweeted out yesterday at 4:22 a.m.?
Oh, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it was something about Oh my goodness, we have bottomed out. Okay, bottomed out. The signal is in to buy the whales. They're scooping up your Bitcoin right now, and I'm adding to my positions, okay? I'm not afraid to take a little bit of profits, but also add to my positions at the same time, okay? It's a very impressive strategy that my crystals are telling me to do this.
I appreciate the insight. I don't know what I would do without that. I appreciate your time, Mr. Crypto, and I hope to have you back on the stream pretty soon.
Okay, Kite, yes, hang in there, buddy. Beware of the bears, but embrace the bulls. You know, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and then you get wrecked. But whatever, bro, okay? Hang in there.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that had me crying at one point. Oh my gosh. My stomach hurts now. But is there any way you have found to use your system in conjunction with Market Cipher? Not exactly, because like my system is based off of one thing more importantly, which is just actual market structure, which you don't even need indicators to tell you to get in or get out. Now, the RSI goes hand in hand with my strategy, because more often than not, whenever you see the market structure form that warrants going short or going long, you're going to see a divergence show up with it, which gives people extra confidence that aren't necessarily confident on trading just price action. With Market Cipher, for example, you're either one, waiting on the VWAP to confirm above zero, which you can miss a pinpoint accurate entry. Two, the RSI is so exaggerated that you really can't understand when is the exact time that it really wants you to go long, based on which point. There's, no. That was my friend Jonathan. He's in the Discord group, and he's let us know his talent. Like the past 2 days that we've been sitting in the Discord, just chatting. Like every once in a while, Crypto will come up for some reason, and he does his little impression, and it's just absolutely hilarious. It's so good. I should do that. We should start like a podcast where I get like really good impressionists of all the major crypto guys, and then just do that, and then eventually I think it'll catch on, and then you have Crypto that like sends me a cease and desist letter, like you can't keep defacing me. We got a doji on the daily. Daily doji? Oh, very nice doji daily. Very nice, very nice. Little doji on the daily. Yep. Jonathan, what did I miss? No, so like here's the thing. I was saying this last night. Someone asked me, why am I long and bullish when Ryan's short and bearish? I mean, it's just because people have different opinions. Uh, and in a market, I'm not right. All right, nobody's right now. Until we break 29K, Ryan's not right. Until we break 42K, I'm not right. So I mean, either one of us could come out on top. Um, what I think is like he's got his own indicators that are telling him his own things. I just look at the market from a different perspective, and I might lose because of that. Right? That's all. I just I know from experience, like when I was just getting started with trading, like leverage trading, especially because leverage trading, it gives you the opportunity to really focus on either or side. What tends to happen in the early parts of trading is one, if you do get into a successful trade, will you take profits at the right point in time? Because trend shifts notoriously are where traders get killed, right? Because when you're in heavy profit, you don't want that profit to end. And if you're not willing to change your ideology when the time is right, or not right, probable, then you're going to get wrecked. Why aren't you trading? What did you expect? Did you expect me to be on the 15-second time frame hyper scalping? Dude, I've been in a trade for the last 2 weeks. Whenever we bottomed on BTC, so technically I've been trading every single minute of every single day, theoretically for the last 3.5 years, but I've been trading every single day for the last 12 days. All right, I got my trades. I ain't gotta overanalyze the market and go play in the 15-second time frame. So that's why I'm not trading. What do you think about the probability of a bull trap to 0.618 on that relief rally? Trap 0.618 on the relief rally. What are you talking about? Right here? Are you calling this a bull trap? This was not a bull trap, right? And if you did get trapped and it doesn't make sense, because I mean it was a very clear reversal, right? Higher high, lower high. Now technically it was a higher high, but it's pretty much exaggerated bearish divergence, right? And as long as you're below that level, I mean, it's not a bull trap. That's a clear reversal from way above. Wait, so are you talking about the possibility of getting back up to this level and then seeing us come down? Because yeah, that's possible. Now, I don't think that we're going to get up to the 0.618 and then continue down to 22K. But yeah, I definitely, like I said, once we get up towards that 54 to 59K region, I'm definitely looking for a pullback, because if you take this as a 1-2 structure here, 1.618 is lining up for 50,000. We could see a possible extension up to that 57, 59 area, and then see a pullback to a 4. So yeah, definitely that area is to watch out for the for the next possible major bearish divergence if you're looking for some nice profit on a short. But I wouldn't be like, once we get, like, if we can get back above 43.7, we should see like a rally in the market. Hopefully all the way back up to 59K, but it could come just shy. And then the fourth wave would be the retest of either 47 or 43K, and we should bottom out while retesting one of those two local lows. And then we would go into the fifth wave, trying to retest the all-time high, hopefully putting in a slightly higher high, but we don't have to. And then that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure would come to an end. We have a nice pullback, probably coming back down, and maybe even forming a giant ass inverse head and shoulders right here. Boom, boom. And then maybe this, and then boom, and then boom, and then we will. However, it wants to work itself out, because we saw this exact structure on Ethereum when it dropped from 13.5, not 13.5, 1300.5 to 9K. We saw that V-shaped recovery, and then we saw it put in, I think, slightly higher high the first time, or maybe the second time. And we saw that pullback. We caught the bottom, and we just kept along those local lows. No, John, he's just trolling me. There was a little I don't want to say altercation about fib retracements in our chat, but there was an argument about fib retracements. And it's crazy because both of the people that were arguing were saying the same exact thing, just in a slightly different way. It's just I don't know, when you get caught up in the this guy's wrong, I'm right. It's hard to see that you guys are literally saying the same thing. Yeah, if we get to 42K, you would have to see what that would do. So like I said, that could be a possible place to hedge short, most definitely, because we could come up and form a uptrend to a downtrend to an uptrend, and we could put in a slightly higher high, and if there is a bearish divergence on like the 30-minute to hourly off of this local high to whatever current local high we're sitting in there, once we come back down below that level, that would be a short hedge right there. So definitely something to watch out for as we approach that region. But if we get above 42.4K, right, until we're back below, like if you're looking to short that region, until we're back below that level in particular, you have to assume that one of the most bullish patterns notoriously in Bitcoin breaking out to the upside, you don't want to try to short that. You're gonna get wrecked. Just putting it out there. All right, like I said, if we do come back, if we do go above and then we come back below, yeah, short it. But as long as we're above that level, there is no reason whatsoever in the world to short that until we get to a significant resistance, which is 59K. Why 13x leverage on ETH instead of 10 or 15? Let's see. What was my exact setup with this? I think it's because I was using like a... what the exact... I have different setups for all these, but... Alright, we have 10K, which is what my account was roughly, this was based off of, with about a... 400, actually 3.5 technically, 25, and we used a 2%. Yeah, so we were using about 4% margin with 25% risk from margin with a 2% stop loss, which equals 13x leverage. So I'm technically only using 0.88% risk. Actually, even less now because my account is worth, you know, obviously that's unrealized profit added to that. So, but you know, technically You know, somewhere around there. 69. Don't you think he needs to pull back? It wasn't bloody enough. What? What? Okay. Listen, I'm not saying that we can't pull back further. But where in the world is a 50 to 70% pullback not enough? Even the 2008 financial crisis only had a 65% pullback. Come on. Come on. Oh my God. If you ask me, it was more than enough. Statistically, during bull markets, we never seen, more than like a 40% pullback. So I mean, I guess that's the main reason why a lot of people are super bearish, is because we've never seen a 50 to 70% pullback in a bull market. So people are like, "Oh, this has to be the bear market, because we've never seen more than 33%." So I mean, people are just freaking out. But that's the greatest time to buy. Come on. And greed in crypto is not. It was out of this world when we were at 57 to 65. But now, dude, there's people have left this market for good. So many people got wrecked. Like Shiba's down like 80%. There's probably people that lost like everything on Shiba, because people are just not the smartest creatures sometimes. But it's definitely no. Oh, come on, man. Like, so here's the thing with these super cycle guys. All right, here's the problem with the super cycle guys. When we were at 43 and 57K, the super cycle guys, using that excuse, were using it as the excuse that we're not going to go down to 29K when I was calling for 29K. So now the super cycle is the reason why we can go down further. What's the consensus here? Because it doesn't seem like anybody has an accurate source for what this means for the market. I'm getting two different sides of the puzzle. You can't say we're going into a super cycle. We're going into an extended bull market. Doesn't mean that we're going to go to $1 million. It just means that the time it takes to get to our target is going to take significantly longer. I think the super cycle is an excuse for people that bought the top of the market. I've been in this market since $80 on Ethereum. All right. I can be realistic about my targets. People that want a super cycle are people that want to become millionaires and they didn't buy the bottom. Right? That's the way I see things. I'm sorry if I'm getting a little bit angry, but it pisses me off, especially when the super cycle was the reason why people weren't bearish, and now the super cycle is the reason why people are bearish. So that just tells me that wherever these people are getting their information about the super cycle, they're either making it up or they're all getting it from different sources who all say different things. So therefore, the information that they're getting is inaccurate in the first place. Ugh, God. I'll be right back. Once again, if you're honest, if you're honest about really believing that we can go down further, that is okay, right? I just hope that you're playing it safe. That's all, right? I'm playing it safe. I'm not overextending myself. So, if we do happen to go down, oh well, so be it. I'll just suffer the small consequences and then make up the losses and then keep on trucking. But I've been doing this for a very long time. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to get wrecked in this moment of hesitation. So. Oh my gosh. It's just I feel like the market is so swayed right now. You have so many people that are like, that's like the thing to me. Well, you're under the assumption that even if I lost all of these trades, that I'm wrecked. I already sold out my positions. Like I said, I made a kill in this bull market. I'm only really exposed in Bitcoin. I've sold pretty much all of my Ethereum. This is a challenge account. So, yeah, to me, like, the thing is like I watch the charts and strictly the charts. You know, I only see really the TikTok and the YouTube thumbnails and stuff like that. And then occasionally, like, I'll hear it from the chat, you guys. And it just seems like people don't get bearish until we drop. I was bearish up at the top and people called me an idiot. All right, so now we had the drop. Everybody turns bearish. And I'm just saying, hey guys, you know, I'm not convinced that we bottomed out, but right now is the highest probability of a reversal that we're going to have for quite a while. So I think taking a chance on a bottom being in is incredibly lucrative and low risk. That's all. Never, ever, ever focus on the speed of a move. All right? Time does not matter in a market. It's price levels. Derry, if you think that you in the chat telling me to close my position and go short here is actually going to work, it's not. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not denying. Like I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm the end all be all. I'm the Christ of crypto. But all I'm saying is, you don't determine my trades. All right, cool. And Joe H, listen, man, I like you, but weren't you the same dude that was shilling H bar for 3 months? And I'm sure you made some nice money off of it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people bought that top and they are sitting pretty bad right now. Where do you see another possibility to enter long on BTC? Where would you see the invalidation of the broken support at 30K? Invalidation of the broken support at 30K. Validation of the broken support at 30K. Like, what would be my signal that we're going to break 30K? And like I said, I really don't think there's going to be another chance to get in long. Maybe short term. Like, if we do happen to see, like, let's say that we see a bearish reversal divergence off of this uptrend as we retest this level, but we don't see a major bearish divergence off of these two highs, then I would assume that we're just going to have a retest, like to the 0.618 maybe, before we have that push to the upside. So, I mean, when this uptrend does come to an end and breaks into a downtrend before creating a larger uptrend, I would assume that it would probably be something like that. That could be a good place to go ahead and hop into a long. And then as well as that, you might be able to hop into a short hedge position, have them battling against each other. That's always a good thing. Joe H, you need to go short. You need to go short. Dude, I sold the top. All right? This is a wonderful place to DCA back in. No, I don't. I don't need to go short. I mean, wasn't supposed wasn't the bear trap to 25K supposed to be like a week ago, according to the 4chan insider? And that was the main, like, I've seen over the past couple of weeks, the reasoning for people to be short has changed so drastically. First, it was the 4chan insider, blah, blah, blah. We're about to liquidate Johnny's son, whatever the hell his name is. And then people were pointing towards that. And then they go, oh, it's a dead cat bounce. It's a dead cat bounce. And 1,000 different people are saying dead cat bounce. And then you got super cycle, just 1,000 different things. And that's the thing. I don't give a rat's ass. I play my chart. Really don't care. And I'll take the highest probability trades where I see fit. It's worked so far. And I'll continue to do so. I'm not here to sway anybody's opinions. I'm definitely not here to have my opinion swayed. I'm simply here to trade and talk. But Joe H, I'm not hodling. I'm not hodling. Right? If I was hodling, I wouldn't have sold the top. I sold the top. Now I'm DCAing back into one of the most logical places for a bottom that we have at the current moment. Right? If we break 29K, there is a fucking abyss to the downside. An abyss. All right, the next possible place of finding support is 16.3K. Right? After that, the next possible place of finding support is 8.8K. So, if we do break 29K, I will sell. And I will try to find a short position. But until that happens, I am going to be long. If you don't like my opinion, I don't know why you're here. That's all. I respect it. Like, if you're in my chat and you're explaining, a legitimate reason why, and I'm talking a legitimate reason why, not just giving me buzzwords. Don't give me stupid buzzwords as a reason. Don't say super cycle. Don't say this person said it. Give me a reason why. We'll have a rebuttal, and then we can talk. You still might not sway my opinion, but at least have an educated talk about it. That's the only thing I ask. That's all. Otherwise, it's not worth a damn. That's the thing, like, you can't push it to one side or the other. It's like, this is the problem with this whole market. You have different people on all different sides. You got the people that have hopeful thinking that if they buy now, we're just going to go to 100K. They make their money. Or two, you have the people that want it to dump to zero so they get a buy-in and then hope it goes back up. If you're to one extreme or the other, more than likely you're in the wrong. You should short because the grass in my front yard grew by half an inch this morning. How long did it take to become consistently profitable? About a year and a half, but I probably could have cut that time down by a couple days. All right. In order to become consistently profitable, really at the end of the day, all you need to know is how to utilize risk to reward to your advantage. Now, risk to reward is meaningless is if you don't have a systematic approach to entering and exiting trades. So that's all. No, you said, and I quote, if I can find it, trading is more fun than hodling. That's what I said. I'm primarily a trader. I didn't hodl. Right? So that's the thing. You're telling me to short. But I'm a trader who has a systematic approach to entering trades. And at this moment in time, there is in no way, shape, or form a macro short entry at all. Especially at this price point. Now, could we possibly take a short if we got back below that local high? Yes. But this is a pivotal moment in Bitcoin. This could either be an A, B, and we're looking for a C to push us out of this triangle, and then we dump to the downside drastically. Boom! The entire market's gone. Or this is simply a 1-2 structure with a smaller 1-2 structure forming, and we are finalizing support before taking one more step to the upside, and then we continue to make the long trek up. Just like so. Do you do this full time? I have been a full-time trader for about 3 years. Yes, 20K would be a level of support. But for me, I play trend versus trend. So when looking at the possible places of reversal for a downtrend, it's going to be based off of local lows that are in the alternative uptrend that it's coming from. So technically 20K would be a level, logically, for price action to bottom out at. And I would certainly hope so, because if we get below 20K, it is so dangerous for the market. I have no doubt that if we get below it, at some point we definitely could get back above it. But from an Elliott wave perspective, if we got back below 20K, that would be so drastically bad. Now, it could be drastically bad short term, but if we stayed under it long enough, I would have to take a hedge position that's quite hefty. A good book to learn Elliott wave is A Visual Guide to Elliott Wave Theory. It's a really good introduction. I've answered that question 1,000 times. Like I said, market type is a good indicator if you know how to use it correctly. But here's the thing: you can make a lot of money with free indicators. It's an indicator is not going to save your trading career. If you're relying on an indicator to make the difference between zero and hero, it's lying to you. That's all. Like I said, we use RSI to add some extra confidence for these short and long positions. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the market structure that determines whether or not we go long or short. I mean, I can turn my mic up a little bit, but it should be decently loud if I'm not wrong. Hello? Hello? I'll turn it up a little bit. Do plus 10. Is that good? Yeah, that should be good. How long have we been streaming today? We've been online for 3 hours so far, so we'll be coming to a close here shortly. Yeah, I love my new PC. Now, I can't deny that there's been some problems that I wish I didn't have to really go through with the new PC, because I had it pre-built. So, one was the PCIe slots were Gen 4 out of the box, which caused incredible problems with a lot of my stuff. So I had to switch it back to Gen 3 PCIe slots. And then, as well as that, unfortunately, one of my hard drives, one of my M.2s was faulty. And that was the one that Windows was installed to, so Windows kept crashing. And that's about it. Now my computer's working pretty fantastic. I'm still trying to dial in a lot of the overclock settings and stuff like that, trying to find power efficiency versus thermals and all that kind of stuff, or power efficiency versus performance. But besides that, I really like it. What are you watching, brother? What do you mean? This is just BTC right here. Hey, Kite, can you explain the TP on these positions before you go? Yeah, sure. 140K is kind of my... I don't know... I don't think I'm going to hold on to this trade the entire time, because I do want to compound this. I was just kind of throwing in 140K because that's kind of, my target for the top of the bull market. Because 100K is the stock to flow, and then you take into account a blow off top, and then I want to kind of try to aim for that blow off top. So, 40% above what the expected price should be is kind of what I was hoping for. So that'd be $18,000 profit, but comparative to some of the other trades we got open, that's nothing. So once we get back up to the all-time high, I might take profits and then look for a re-entry, hopefully to compound some of that profit. So that's kind of a placeholder right there. Ethereum is going to be sort of the same thing. I would be looking for a retest of the all-time high. So I'll probably take profit somewhere around $4,000 on Ethereum, and then look for the pullback in the entry. So 4K, maybe about 3.5K on that. Once again, sushi. This is kind of a placeholder as well. Realistically, I'm looking for $160 on sushi. Even with the realistic target, we're going to make $76,000 off of a trade that I'm only risking $35 on. All right. So, 160 is the realistic target, but what I'm looking to do is whenever we see close to 100K, 140K on BTC, wherever sushi at the time is sitting is where I'm going to take profits. So, you know, if it hits 320 before we hit the top of the market, so be it. I'll take profit. If we are at 250 when BTC is towards its top, I'll take profit. Whatever it is. And then Aave is the only one that I'm kind of just shooting for a short-term profit here. So given the fact that this is a 1-2 structure right here, right, this is a 1-2 structure. All right, this is a 1-2 structure right here. All right, we would be aiming for the 1.618. All right, and that comes to about 553. But we have actual price action, 2 local highs, one at 509 and one at 527. So we have some resistance here before we hit that target. So I'm just taking my profit before those resistances are hit. That's all. Yeah, we've scalp traded quite a couple times, and usually what you're looking for is, like, in a downtrend, you're looking for like a small time frame setup, and you're just looking for it to retest the 0.5 of the 2 trends involved. I have no doubt that Aave is going to do good. All right, I'm not looking to hold this to the moon. I'm just looking for some good profit here, because you know, we're going to make 3,300. I lost about $480 getting the entry. So we'll be net positive $2,900 once we test that level. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the targets and why I'm doing them. Some of them are placeholders. Like I said, 140K is definitely a placeholder. You know, realistically, like I said, probably be looking to take profit somewhere around 57K. Look for a pullback. So yeah, if we take profit at 57K, we'll walk away with about, you know, just under 5K. That'll be fine. So I mean, you know, Aave, that's, you know, I'm not gonna say that's a guaranteed, you know, $3,000, but Aave, BTC, and ETH are definitely the trades that, in the medium to short term, not to quote Crypto, have a likelihood of actually hitting their take profit sometime soon. That's going to be about, you know, 5, 8, yeah, about 11 to 12K profit. So not too shabby. And then we'll wait for the pull. Well, you know, we'll see if there's a short position, but really looking for the pullback more importantly. And then we'll catch it again, amplify the profits on the next run, and we'll see how it goes. Yes, I do. I have, it's called Best Tool for Leverage Traders, How to Use the Risk Reward Calculator. Best tool. Why did it pop that one up? There we go. This one. Is there anything incriminating on here? No. Yeah, best tool for leverage traders, how to use the risk reward calculator. I can even share this link in the chat. Yeah. We dumped. Oh no. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Actually, okay, so we're still sitting at like 9.2K. Listen, I with Meow, I on it, like, we can only hope. All right. We are so early in this coin that the crazy amount of potential for our portfolios is high. But I am no way, shape, or form saying that this coin is worth anything. All right. That's the difference between me and the next guy. Like, you look up other videos on Pussy Financial on YouTube, they're like, oh my gosh, get into this coin before it's too late. You're going to miss out on so many gains. I don't want you to get into this coin. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I can't support stupid decisions, but I will not deny that these types of coins lead to a massive profit if you get in early enough. But, you know, if you do take a chance on it, just please don't throw in tens of thousands of dollars if you can't afford it, because it can legitimately go to zero. That is all. All right. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I think I'm going to log off now. I'll probably hop back on the Discord in a little bit and just chill out for the night. But, yeah, for anybody that's looking to join the Patreon, you know, you can join on this either the 1st or the 2nd of next month. Like I say all the time, if you guys are looking for a signals group, the Patreon is not a signals group. And as well as that, you know, as long as you guys ask the questions on Livestream, I'll answer them, and I don't hide anything behind a paywall. So if you watch long enough, you're pretty much going to learn everything you can learn. But with the new availability of switching from Telegram to Discord, you know, when I'm sitting in the chat and stuff, don't be afraid. Come in, ask me questions. You know, I'll share my screen and I'll explain it. It's like a group one-on-one and almost all the time. So, you know, it's a good thing. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and say goodbye to some peeps. Meow is a giant bull flag. I mean, you can only hope. That's the thing. You can't believe technical analysis on a shitcoin. It could fail in a second because, like I said, there's somebody that just bought 600 grand. And if they dumped, it would be gone in a second. Let's see. Fresh Kool-Aid, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Foco, thank you very much, man. Angie, Iron Scooby, thank you very much. Jonathan, I really appreciated you doing a little call for the stream. Appreciate it. Unlucky Charms, check out the new page. Video dropped. Wait, you talking about from Meow? Sean, bye. Discord ad. In order to get into the Discord, you have to join the Patreon and then send me a friend request in order to get the invite. Zekin, I'll see you there, buddy. Oh my God, Jonathan, don't say that in public. Jonathan, for whatever reason, thinks it's okay to say technical and analysis. That is just not right. That's heresy. Technical and analysis? It's too many syllables. Race your horse live for us. If there's a race that we can immediately get into. Yeah, there's no races that are going to start soon. I mean, this is a free race. Yeah, this is a free race. I'll go. Yeah, let's throw the horse in here. Oh, I think other people took my spot. You got me goodbye faking for a horse race. I hope you know that. Yeah, there's no horse races that are going to start anytime soon, unfortunately. But maybe next time. He's gonna log off, take profit, and reverse to short. Oh, one can only hope, right? All right. I appreciate you guys very much. Let's go ahead and see if we can find some songs to play on the outro. Maybe some more Ryan Caraveo today. I haven't played a whole lot of them lately. Let's see. Definitely this album. Let's do outro. And let's do Grim Reaper. All right. So outro is gonna be the first song. Grim Reaper is gonna be the second song. All right. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you soon. I should be on tomorrow. All right. Pretty much. I will try to hop on for at least an hour a day through the weekdays, and obviously weekends off. Getting back on a regular schedule because I do think we're due for the next cycle in the market. It's just, combination of quitting nicotine and kind of just chilling out, letting things subside, led to that little hiatus. And now that the market, I think, is going to be a little bit more exciting, definitely some stuff to be talked about. So, all right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow around 2 to 3 p.m. EST, and we'll see how things go. All right, because I'm sure there's a couple people in chat that want to see me lose my trades. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, I appreciate you, and we will be back. I'll be back. All right, you ready for this? Goodbye.
Maybe they were wrong about me, and I was right the whole time. Underrated newcomer sitting on a gold mine. Never took a shortcut, I've been on that slow grind. Add up all the baby steps, I'll be there in no time. Folks line up and down the block to see the spectacle. You don't gotta like, at least admit the shit respectable. Never had dollars, we were fighting over decimals. Decimated all the doubt, now I'm feeling resolute. Now I'm feeling purposeful, working till mama's purse is full. Been rock bottom, only way to go is vertical. I was off balance, yeah, I was catching vertigo. Now they breaking vertebrae. Every time I circle through, I prefer to do everything how I imagined it. Made this off a handout so they can put their hands in it. Break it and dismantle it and play me like a mandolin. Wait until I'm down till they offer me companionship. Saying they gon' ride for me when shit hits the fan again. They ain't really crazy, they as manic as a mannequin. Can it, man, I cannot stand hearing any more of this. I guess the moral is just maybe they were wrong. I'ma go until I get it, I'ma chase it till it's gone. Head in the clouds and my feet on the ground, screaming down at them like, look at me now. Just maybe they were wrong. Just maybe they were wrong. Don't be fooled by the frown on my face, I'm just playing along. Just maybe. Just maybe. Just maybe. I'ma go as hard as I can, Doc. Tell the Grim Reaper, come and take me. I'm not afraid of falling to the very bottom. No death, don't intimidate me. Cause I'll be the blood of a winner. I can feel it all running through my veins. I know this might sound a little crazy to you. You wouldn't understand unless you was me. I'm sick of all the bullies, sick of all the classists. I am done dealing with all of the bitch assness. I am not a cool kid, I am cuckoo if you ask them. Grew up outcasted, happy never lasted. Cruising 99, Aurora be the avenue. Fiends up and down the block searching for a bag or two. Girls selling sex, crazy what your habit'll do. Still your boy, always kept a happy attitude. Stay daydreaming about what I could achieve. Passing grades in every class, but they were all D's. Never felt the school books was the calling for me. Knowing in my bloodline, got a college degree. So we'll make our own way, yeah, we'll make our own way. No, it's not a lot to y'all, but I done came a long way. Used to get lonely, now I like the space. Show the family that we can, think I finally found my place.
I'ma go as hard as I can die. Tell the grim reaper come and take me. I'm not afraid of falling to the very bottom. No death, don't intimidate me. Cause I'll be the blood of a winner. I can feel it all running through my veins. I know this might sound a little crazy to you. You wouldn't understand it unless you was me. Tell the grim reaper come and take me. Tell the grim reaper come and take me.
I've been living life with my guard up. Tough skin, I ain't letting anybody in. You seem nice, so I'm sorry that you gotta deal with the repercussions of what everybody did. Old friends turn to fiends who would die for grams. When they breathe, hear the wheeze in they diaphragms. Remember you always hated on a crew. Now you tryna put our circles together like Venn diagrams. I can count up all my friends on 2 hands, waving my middle fingers like this is my new dance. I gave them all a shot, I won't give them a new chance. I'm shining all of my own, I glisten like new gems. Oh man, now it don't hurt so much. What I feel when you leave ain't worth your touch. I'm invincible now, you invisible now. I don't do it for the prize, it's the principle now. So
I'ma go as hard as I can die. Tell the grim reaper come and take me. I'm not afraid of falling to the very bottom. No death, don't intimidate me. Cause I'll be the blood of a winner. I can feel it all running through my veins. I know this might sound a little crazy to you. You wouldn't understand unless you was me. Tell the grim reaper come and take me. Tell the grim reaper come and take me. Take me. Tell the grim reaper come and take me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone wanna put on, but not everyone got the reach. Wanna take bloods, success take kids. Not everyone wanna pay the cost of each. I heard what they gon' do, when they gon' do it. I swear they just talk to speak. Talk is cheap. If I was you, I'd move my legs and lock my beak. Work, you decide what you wanna be worth. Had to learn how to put me first. CEOs don't wanna be clerks. What you put in, probably what you deserve. When I leave Earth, I finally get sleep. I don't waste no time counting up sheep. On account of this shit, I still haven't reached. Gotta run off the leash. Cause if all my life I wait for something to work, I'll probably be better off late and under the dirt. Put that on my grave.
My grave, put that on my grave.
Put that on my grave.
My grave, put that on my grave.
Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. My tomb. My grave. My tomb. Put that on my grave. My tomb. My grave. My tomb. Put that on my grave.
My grave, put that on my grave.
Put that on my grave.
My grave, put that on my grave.
Gotta learn to do for self instead of waiting to get done. Where you end up is contingent on the way that you begun. From the jump, off the rip, are you a ripple or a wave? Do you break the rules with purpose or do you just misbehave? Is it phase or forever? I guess only time can tell. If the company don't come for me, I'm rolling by myself. Got complete faith in the vision, I don't need the validation. I could care less about your words, I'm more concerned with how you say them. Cause if all my life I wait for something to work, I'll probably be better off late and under the dirt. Put that on my grave.
My grave, put that on my grave.
Put that on my grave.
My grave, put that on my grave.
Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. Put that on my grave. My tomb. My grave. My tomb. Put that on my grave. My tomb. my grave, my tomb, put that on my grave.
My grave, put that on my grave.
Put that on my grave.
My grave, put that on my grave.
Put that on my grave, my tomb, my grave, my tomb, put that on my grave, my tomb, my grave, my tomb, put that on my